Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and it's Tuesday. You know what that means.
The 5th of July.
We don't know what that means.
Bikini Day, right?
Yeah, today is National Bikini Day. And my wife doesn't wear bikinis anymore. She wears, nice. She'll wear like a shapely one piece.
I saw it.
Now, your wife, on the other hand, wore a very sexy
scuba diving top.
Zippy, yeah, she wore a scuba diving top where you can zip the zipper down to her pubes, and I salute her. Now that's
no
American.
pants.
Yeah, and that's
No pants.
with no pants.
Yeah. It's
It was pretty awesome. But
It's a new
all
favorite
women
thing.
should wear scuba dive top, no pants. That's a Dan Dennis guarantee.
Wait a minute.
Joey Mazan's
Yeah,
here. Joey.
that's called it. Moving on.
The best intros.
Does
best.
your wife wear a scuba diving top and no pants? Because if she doesn't, she should. Because I've seen your wife. She would look. I don't think I'm crossing any lines if I said your wife would look great wearing that. All
She's
wives.
very small. She wears. There's not a lot of cloth to what she wears when she goes to the beach.
Tiny scuba top, no pants.
Before we start, and this is going to be awkward at first because I got to confront Joey.
Yeah, I
but,
know. Like the same talk we had with EJ.
But
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
No.
you go
I'm
ahead-
in the principal's office.
You
No,
go
no,
ahead-
no.
you just go ahead and clean out your cubicle, sir.
But speaking of Joey's, did you see Joey Chestnut? Sorry.
Oh, man, are you still drinking?
Chestnut's the best nut, dog.
I have to get my brain up.
Hey, the
right
lady
now.
that we
Bad.
had in here, the Black Widow,
Yeah.
we had her in here. She's the new champion.
Yeah, we had Joey Chestnut.
I
too.
know, but we've had the female champion in here too.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So anyway, did you guys see
I legitimately
No.
forgot we had Joey Chestnut in here.
the protester or something run up and then hold a sign and then Joey
Ukraine!
I don't know. I don't even know what it was protesting or what the sign said. But Joey Chestnut
Make buns larger.
grabbed him in a headlock
he's
during
Joey-
the competition.
Yeah, don't mess with his moneymaker, man. That hot dog contest is how he makes his nut. He'll kill you if you mess it up for him.
And then the other security tackled the guy down, and then he just went back to hot dog.
Was
eating.
the
It was
weird-
weird.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, what?
Well,
did you
wait,
see
he
it?
could have eaten
No.
more dogs had he not
What?
had to comment.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that this was a thing. Hold on, let me try to find it.
No, I found it. It's on
Send it to me. Just
Sports Illustrated.
you can just forward it to me in an email. I'll open
So
it.
did this just happen? No,
I
obviously.
had not heard about it till just
Yeah,
now.
you're the
so-
first person. I mean, maybe you might be breaking the news
No, I
that
was-
Joey Chestnut had to tackle somebody during the Nathan's Hot Dog
It was-
4th of July eating contest.
It was on social media. It was just a clip, and I assumed it happened yesterday. Did they do it on 4th of July?
Yeah, they do it on 4th of July, and they always have that one guy that I think it's his contest. He's so creepy. The guy that wears the old school Great Gatsby hat, and he's always up there. He's like, "This is the most important thing to me ever, and if it ever goes away, I'm killing myself." That's what that guy looks like.
Shortly after
the hot dog
downing-
guy,
nailed
right?
it.
He
You
looks
nailed
like if this thing ever goes away, I'm telling you, I'm taking people with me. Because I'm going to go crazy. Because that guy, all he lives for, not Joey Chestnut. Joey's got other irons in the fire. Joey's a smart man.
Competitive
I'm talking
eater.
about the Nathan's man that wears
The promoter.
The promoter. That guy hangs his entire
That's all he's got.
persona on top of that Nathan's. And he does the announcement of the guys that eat. And I very much dislike that man.
He's the let's get ready to rumble of the hot dog
of the
world.
hot dog
if the
world.
hot dogs
Yeah.
go away, he's got to go get a job at Walmart.
Exactly. He looks.
So, according to this article, it says shortly after downing his 17th dog, protesters stormed the platform dressed in Star Wars garb and holding signs reading "Expose Smithfield's Death Star," in apparent protest against pork producer Smithfield Foods.
All right, I got it here.
Wow.
So they were protesting
Does Smithfield, are they
hot dog.
associated with Nathan's hot dogs?
Maybe
I
they
mean-
supply the meat. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so here he is.
There's the dude. Joey Chestnut grabs the dude, throws him down, and then does he go back?
Oh, man, he put him in a headlock.
Yeah. Look at him. And then
I think he hurt the guy. I
Yeah,
think
man.
he broke the. It looks as if this
You
didn't
got the
happen.
old chestnut cracker.
This didn't happen, but it looks as if Joey Chestnut breaks this guy's neck like a spy would in like any spy movie where
Yeah,
they
yeah,
snap the neck.
yeah.
Look, it looks like he snaps the neck, kills the guy.
And
Watch,
this is
watch. snap, dead. He's dead.
But can you see he still has the hot dog in his left hand?
Oh yeah.
He never put the dog down.
You know, it's weird.
He's awesome. Joey Chestnut is a certifiable badass.
Well, what's weird is, like, if I was up on stage, I've been up on stage before, both of us have. And if someone runs on stage and, like, bumps me out of the way and then holds a sign, my first instinct isn't to wrestle him down. I'm just back. I'm just like, well, all right, because like
I think that's the difference between me and you, Eminem, Dr. Dre.
So apparently, according, we got Andrea in the chat giving us all the facts.
Yeah, Andrea is way into. Like, my wife hates the contest, but for some reason she knows everything about it.
Well, she thinks that Tom will be interested in this
Yeah.
because the total was well under the betting line of 74.5 hot dogs, although DraftKings announced it would refund bets due to the disturbance.
Yeah, because
this
that's why
affected people's betting.
That's why
Yeah.
Joey killed that man, is because he's like, you're screwing. I prepared for this, and you're ruining it, and I got to kill you, and that's why I killed him.
And you know what? They can't restart it.
No.
Because they've already eaten.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like, all right, hold on,
No.
restart.
He's
It's like,
already
I
got a
had
dog.
17
Yeah,
hot
you already
dogs.
took up space.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
even like a sprinter who can try and do it again. You know,
Where's
maybe
that,
they
like,
lost
go
some-
puke it out. Start it over.
Oh man.
Does he parlay this into anything? I remember when Lori Loughlin had that whole thing that happened with her daughter and the college and all that.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
saw millions of T-shirts that said Aunt Becky got me into Hogwarts everywhere. Does
Oh,
this
okay.
guy make a funny T-shirt? Is there a way
Oh,
that
he's
Joey
had. Yeah, I think he's had that. He's had stuff. Or you mean for
because of this? Like, is there I got punched in the face by Joey Chestnut and all I got was this hot
Sorry,
dog.
I got distracted thinking of Aunt Becky eating hot dogs, which I'd watch her eat hot dogs. I mean, she's questionable morals, but an attractive woman nonetheless.
All right, let's get to it. So, Joey, this is the awkward part.
Yeah, sorry.
Because Joey is the nicest
You
man in the
enjoyed
world.
us doing the hot dog eating contest aside. You were able to push aside the business that we have
Is
to
this
do.
the last episode?
Yeah.
Is that what you're
No,
doing?
no.
No,
sorry.
No,
No,
but
the sky is not falling.
I've
sir.
been dumped before. This is how it usually
No,
starts.
no,
No,
it's not you. It's
Yeah.
us. It's us.
So, last Parks and Parlays,
Okay.
I saw a BDM post on the BDM
And they
page,
love to call people out.
and they said Joey is telling us information from Disneyland, not Disney World.
World, and we are world specific.
And he got it wrong. And I have no idea whether this guy's right or not. I just I saw that and I assumed, he knows
I
what
always
he's
just
talking
look
about.
at Sam, and then Sam was like, he's right. I'm like, oh, God, we have a situation. Get Joey on the phone.
So what happened, Joey?
Which camera are we in? To all of the T&D listeners, I'm sorry. I'm not a role model. I'm just a theme park individual, and I do apologize. For any questions, comments, and concerns, reach out to me. And on behalf of anything I can speak of legally, I am so very sorry. For any discomfort or negativity I've caused you in your life, I do apologize.
Wow, if only EJ knew how to speak that eloquently. You know?
So it was that policy that you said had changed. I thought it was the company wide. Like I didn't know they do one stuff something
yeah.
for
Oh,
yeah.
Disneyland,
It's very
Disney World.
It's very, each one is completely different. And I
No
mean,
rhyme or reason
yeah,
to it.
and really no. That's you know what? Well said. There
Yeah.
is no continuity to it. None of it makes sense to me. Things they do there, they don't do here. Things they do here, they don't do there.
Yeah.
Nothing is transferable. Nothing works the same. you know?
And I subscribe to so many Orlando-specific things. I always double-check them, and that was probably the one time I didn't go back and say, maybe I should vet this information. Instead, I said, no, that sounds about right. So that's on me. I do apologize.
Do you think it's a sign that the Disney World could change? Like,
Usually.
do they do like like,
Sometimes
let's
they'll
test it
follow
out?
suit, yeah.
Okay.
Not always though.
No.
Right.
But it was they renamed it like how we had Fast Pass, and out in California they had Max Pass. We got Max Pass, but they call it Lightning Lane now instead because they had to rename it. It's the
Just
same
keep
thing.
it all the same.
It's too
So confusing.
So much to remember.
But
dumb.
universally, like
Oh,
most,
you
No,
can't
we're
say
talking
that.
Disney,
No,
not
okay.
Universal.
Thank you, Sam.
but most Disney World enthusiasts or people that appreciate Disney World or Disneyland or Disney as a whole will agree that Disney World is superior over Disneyland, or no?
I think
It's bigger and better,
I think
right?
true Disney aficionados say that World offers the most, but the origin and the birthplace is land.
Bingo.
That's what I would say.
It's quantity over quality here.
What do you say, Sam?
I know more people come to Disney World
Yeah.
because there's more to do.
For sure.
Yeah, there's better rides and
more.
Four major parks
Yeah.
and 2 water parks.
Well, Disney World is 42 square miles. Disneyland fits in the Magic Kingdom's parking lot.
right.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's so
yeah,
tiny.
It's a numbers game. That's all it is.
Yeah, so if it seems
And
like
all
there's
of
no
my
argument
friends
around.
hate California Adventure.
Really?
All of them hate it.
Even the Marvel campus?
No, that's a shining star. But everything else,
liked
they're
it.
kind of like meh,
That
you
Ferris
know?
wheel of
Yeah,
death?
You
Oh.
like it, but I should say friends that live in California, maybe. You know, maybe if you're visiting, everything's different when you're visiting. You know,
All right.
I like it all. I think it's all great. All right,
All right, Joey. So what misinformation are you going to give us today?
yeah, you should say that to EJ. Save that. Write that down. Write that down.
Look at that face. I can't stay mad at you.
When someone's super nice, it makes me want to bully them.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
yeah. And
Why
Joey's
is
rolling with it now.
I'm fine.
It's just so too nice, and I can't even help myself.
All right, what do you got?
It's funny, in this one, I just wanted to talk about the Disney's Magical Adventure because it made me laugh because at first I thought I was being punked. It is a $100,000 trip around the world.
Yeah, you brought
yeah.
this up.
What is this?
I saw this a couple weeks ago and I dropped it in our Goof Troop group, but I'll let Joey explain.
What they're doing is it is for the ultimate Disney enthusiast, which, okay, fill
Well,
in the
you can
blank.
be an enthusiast, but not have $100,000.
But here's the best part. The first 75 people to go get a $100,000 adventure where you will get to see Disneyland, Disney World, Tokyo Disney, Euro Disney. Basically, you're going to do everything with Disney in the title, and you're going to get to see the Eiffel Tower and, for some weird reason, the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, I think they're kind of checking off wonders of the world, you know, or like trying to think of the most grandiose experiences you can have. I mean, Eiffel Tower, yeah, I guess Taj Mahal, I guess.
And the reason I
Big
thought they were
Ben,
doing
maybe? You
it,
throw Big Ben in there?
maybe for Peter Pan, I was thinking they were just doing it because that's the stuff that's in Soarin'.
Oh,
I thought they were
okay.
checking off the Soarin' landmarks because they probably...
The Eiffel Tower, you have Disney Paris. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
makes
Taj
sense.
Mahal, unless there's something I don't know. Is there a Disney being built in India?
yeah, with Gaddafi Duck.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
I don't know. No, I don't believe so.
So you're just going to go to India specifically to see the Taj
I
Mahal?
mean, maybe
It's weird that they threw that in there.
Well, maybe you're trying to be inclusive to what would speak to everybody, right? And if you don't do anything that would be considered like
hold
in
on.
that vein, you know, you've done some Asia, you need to do some, you know.
But it's just a
something-
funny thought that you walk up, like, if you've seen the Taj Mahal, it's like, there's the fountains, there's the Taj, take your picture. All right, so where do we eat? Well, there's a hummus place 3 miles away.
Right.
Like, it's not like it's in the middle of a booming city. It's like the Taj Mahal.
So,
and
like Disney's charging $100,000 for this basically
dream
trip.
vacation.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then they set you up at each one of the Disney resorts or whatever,
And other
Is it-
stops.
and $100,000 a person.
$100,000 a person. You have to have at least 2 people in your group, or they upcharge you for being one person going by yourself. And on top of that, there is a waiting list of already over 300 people trying to go on this.
Wow.
They offer it to the Disney Destinations group first, which is just it's the 1% of the 1% at that point. Then it goes to everybody living in Golden Oak, which we talked about before.
Yeah.
You have to have
My wife showed a house there one time, and it's
Dude.
nuts.
Golden
Dude.
Oak.
Yeah.
that commission check will change your life.
Some BDM can afford. That was like his second house there.
What?
Yeah.
I never
I-
even heard it like that. This guy is
That
this
was the
rich?
part that hurt. It
Maybe I
wasn't
shouldn't tell his business.
wasn't the part that somebody was moving into Golden Oak. It was the part that it wasn't his main residence. It was just like, I'm just gonna,
is
I'll try it.
vacation
I'm just gonna
house.
try
Yeah.
it. I'm like, try it.
Nobody that lives there has a main residence is Golden Oak.
Right.
Everybody that lives there, that's their vacation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
stinking rich.
Gross. Just
Then
gross.
after those 2, it's offered to members of Club 33, which we've talked about before. And then after Club 33, you have to basically fill out an application to see if you're good enough to, I shouldn't say good enough, I don't want to throw shade at Disney, to see if you are able to go on this trip. So you need to have $120,000 of, I have nothing to do with this income to even shake a stick at this
And
thing.
it's 24 days, so you can't, you got to take off work if you are working. And
like to
also does not include the flights.
I always
and
thought it included the
It doesn't
flight.
include all the meals either.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, hold on.
Airfare to and from departure and return cities is not included in the cost.
Is it some sort of VIP tour as well? Because, like, just thinking about
I would
this,
assume so.
because you could book this yourself. I
Sure.
mean, obviously go online.
Yeah, but you're
and-
not going to get the Disney treatment because, like, now,
Yeah.
based on what Sam is saying, you just need to cover getting to where they start and getting to where they end, right?
Yeah.
Or getting out of where they end.
That's what it seems.
So
yeah.
the rest of the travel is included, the flights, right? Like, they're like Disney chartered flights, right?
So it does say throughout the trip, guests will be attended by 3 adventure guides, Disney VIPs, Imagineers, cultural experts, and other surprise
Yeah,
guests. So
they-
you get
they
to like
bring-
chat
so-
with the engineers.
Yeah,
So
they
they-
bring people
okay.
in to like to ride with you, talk with you, and stuff like that. I mean, I think
So
there
it's like-
is value
okay.
there. It's may not what we want.
I thought it was just like you get in the park, you stay at the resort, but this is like a VIP tour. Like they bring you the whole experience.
I mean,
Okay.
this is for psychos.
for a super
that-
rich Disney person.
Well,
yeah.
or somebody that like you ever seen these people on like Airbnb where they have like a house and then the entire house when you look at it you're like, oh my god, you have spent every dollar you have to make your entire house look like Disney. And
Yeah,
so-
yeah, yeah.
And that person might have money that they've been saving, and if you've been plunking it away for, I'm not even talking about you.
I was like, I
Once in
got
a lifetime.
no, you
a
are.
lot, but I paint my own walls.
I mean, unfortunately, I can't even put you. You're not like these wackanuts. That I'm talking like where it is walls, everything in it, head to toe Disney, right?
Well,
Those people, they save their money, and then this is their dream, right?
If Sam had $10 million,
I'd do it.
Let's say she starts her OnlyFans and she rich beyond
Oh
belief.
my
wow.
God.
You really think I'm going to get $10 million?
That
Oh,
escalated
wait a minute,
fast.
I'll quit today.
I don't know. The sky's the limit.
I mean.
Catch me outside.
I mean,
50.
I would say in 1 year's time, you could definitely afford a single ticket with the upcharge,
Yeah.
the upcharge for yourself to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
on this.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you worked,
Just our listeners
if
alone.
you worked medium hard,
Yeah. I've
Medium
seen,
hard.
I saw them at Hourglass. They'll
Yeah.
pay.
Oh, they'll pay.
They're
They'll pay.
horny animals.
Yeah, they,
They'll pay for 1 month,
No, but they're
or they'll share their login with their friends.
they'll
No,
be
no.
curious. Well, some of them will do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's-
They do that with the BDM subscription.
well, I'm
Especially
counting on them doing that because
Especially that one guy who
Who had
screams
a
in my
password?
face. Anyway, so $100,000. Now, I mean, it sounds like an insane amount of money to all of us, but there are insane rich people out there
Yeah.
that $100,000 is nothing. And I mean,
God,
it
for
may
an
be.
experience. It's
I sat
it
in
may be
Vegas.
$1,000 to just in
Right.
perspective. It's like $1,000 to us is $100,000 to them, and then
Oof.
that is like, hey, for 24-day VIP, some special thing that no one's ever gotten
Yeah.
before. I don't know.
I sat at the Bellagio next to a guy who bought in for $25,000 to play 3-card poker.
Yeah.
And I looked at him like this, and he was like, "How you doing?" I go, "Not as good as you're doing, apparently."
And
Yeah.
those people are everywhere too. Like I've been on a cruise ship where just a guy, it's just a normal Carnival cruise, which is basically floating Walmart. And then you look to your right, and there's a dude. He's throwing 8K around. Like I can't do that. Like that it makes me
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
grosses me out a little bit.
It's just nothing. And,
Yeah.
just they have a lot of money and it never ending, and their investments just pay them every day. It's like,
The chat room brought up something sort of ties in. What do you know about this $5,000 Star Wars cocktail?
Oh,
That-
yeah.
That's also California, I believe. Or no, is that the one at the Galactic Star Cruiser? We're gonna have to Google that one. I did see it. It's either only available in California or only available at the Galactic Star Cruiser. You do it for the gram.
It's on the cruise
It's
ship.
on the
The
Disney.
cruise
It's on
ship.
the
Thank
cruise
you.
ship.
Hold
There
on.
you go.
I
Okay,
just
that's
got
the
an-
Star Wars Day at Sea.
I just got an idea. What if we put together the ultimate Tom and Dan tour? Okay, follow me here.
We've kicked it. This is an idea that I mean you're having your same idea, but this is something
Yeah.
you came. This is the blue hole with
Yeah.
with
Andy,
Andy.
Logic Man. You just put it out there, and I mean it will take a couple hours just to type it up on the internet, and then
Well, one of them is you get to sleep in the old studio.
Yes!
It's got a bed
Yeah,
in it
yeah,
in my
yeah,
house.
yeah,
You get
yeah.
to sleep in my house.
Yeah. You sleep in the old studio.
Yeah, I like that.
You come to the.
You start at the old studio one night there. We walk you,
Yeah,
take
yeah,
you
yeah.
through some of the history, the things that we did there, some stories. We have a
Yeah.
hologram of my mom that will tell some stories of the time that she was there.
Yeah.
Then the next day we'll bring you to the new studio, walk you through the build out of what we did to do this.
But then we take them on tours of famous shows like Just Zooing Around,
Yeah.
where we recreate Just Zooing Around.
Take
for
you around
them.
Lake Eola,
Yeah,
the
for
infamous Bumcast.
yeah.
We take you to OLE, that's now a mega church. We show you the parking lot that Tom and I got in the one only argument we've ever had.
yeah.
Where
Then
else
we're
would we
bringing
take
to
them?
Ross's house.
Yeah, 903 Mills Market. We
Yeah.
swing by there.
Yeah.
You can see the Russians that own it now.
We'll go to Seth's place. We'll go to Seth's dojo.
We'll go to the dojo.
He'll
You
kick
can-
a watermelon
You can
off
jump
your
up
head.
and down
Yeah.
on his rubber floor.
Joey will take you on a personal tour. I mean, we'll pay you.
Yeah,
for
yeah, we'll take care of you, Joey.
Not your full rate, but
Yeah,
No,
we'll take you to
half rate.
we'll take you to a house that we say is Sam and Travis's house. It's not, but you'll walk around in it.
She wants no
She'll
part of
pret-
it.
Yeah, but she'll pretend like it's her house for the one day.
Yeah. We'll
It's
have a
not very
Sam imposter
convincing.
come
Yeah,
out, and they'll be
yeah.
like, "That's not Sam."
Yeah. We'll have a guy walk out. He's like, Travis doesn't have a mustache. I'm like, you shut your mouth.
God, I love you guys.
And then
Let's see what else.
You know,
Kratom carry a little gift bag, a little snoochie boochie in there, a little toke.
yeah. And then $10,000. I think
Well, we're just gonna give them $10,000.
No. That's how much they pay us. For
okay.
that.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we're not gonna give them $10,000.
You can sleep at my house.
Where? Where you sleep?
Yeah.
Oh, in the playroom.
Yeah, in the playroom. I'll knock the toys out of the way.
Push the toys out. I'm sleeping on a Lego.
I think so. It'll pay for. What else we got, Joey?
For the theme park wise, I'm sure you've heard about Splash Mountain.
Yes.
It's official. It's
It is
getting
official
rebranded.
now. Yeah.
Really?
Yep, Disney. So what happened is a lot of people said, well, Disney said we're offended and we're appalled at everything that's going on, so we're changing Splash Mountain to the Princess and the Frog. And they did that during there was a lot of, I'm not going to muddy the waters, but things were happening, and then all of a sudden nobody talked about it anymore. It was like it never happened or never was going to happen. And then people got mad and the Twitterverse and blew up, and all of a sudden it was like, all right, so here's the deal. It's going to cost us $300 million. Shut up, we're doing it. So they're changing Splash Mountain to the Princess and the Frog. And
Because Splash Mountain is
racist AF.
Yeah, it's Song of the South. which
yeah.
Doesn't,
Translate well.
Yeah.
not the best Disney movie. Song
Yeah.
of the South.
There's a reason it's not on Disney Plus.
It's right under Lightyear.
Yeah.
Lightyear, people are hating on
I
some
know.
Lightyear, man. They
Are
hate
they?
on, yeah.
But
They're like so
They're mad about Tim
boring.
Allen not being the damn voice.
You know what? And they got that one right.
not my Buzz
Who
Lightyear.
said that? I said that.
He's an old man.
Doesn't
That's
matter.
the toy voice.
Exactly.
Give me Tim Allen. This other guy, who's the guy that did the voice?
Chris.
It's Chris Helmsworth.
Yeah.
Right?
No, the other Chris.
Chris
Pratt. No, the other Chris.
No, the other
Oh
one.
God.
Chris
The
other
other. Yeah.
Evans?
Evans.
Evans.
Yeah. Hey, you're sorry. You've done too much. Give me old Tim Allen. Ooh.
So
Yeah. Give me some tool time. Yeah. Give me
More
the old,
power.
Give me the old tool time.
So I know that Disney has standards, and when we've talked about like Universal, and we've gone behind the scenes, and they told us how much stuff costs, and like in the parades, and like the replicas.
thing that
are-
bothered you was the animatronic cat. And there was a
It wasn't
parade.
an animatronic. It was just the statue.
Yeah, it was just a statue. I think his tongue went side to side.
yeah,
It was like,
yeah.
what was it? It was like $116,000.
Yeah, here we go. It was like a tiny, like Life of Pets statue
Yes.
with 100,000.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So, 300 million.
Yep.
Seems like you could do it for less, right?
Oh, a ride? Yes.
Well, like revamp the ride. You could do it for less. Like someone's charging them too much. Like that's absurd.
a lot
right?
of these-
Well, I don't know.
300
I'd
million.
assume they're not changing any of the mechanics, right? It's just
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be a retheme.
Like it's you know. Oh, Joey may know, but there's and they ripping
Well, for
everything
sure,
out.
they can't have the Briar Patch because that's straight up from Song of the South, so they have to change that to something New Orleans
Yeah.
theme. So that's all going to have to be changed.
But are they?
But the track, I don't think is going to change.
Okay, so the track is the
Well,
same
if
splash.
The ride's the hardest part, right? Like they,
Yeah,
they-
that's what I'm saying.
They
It's just
typically
that
come from like Nordic countries, do a lot of that, and China does a
Yeah.
lot of that. You know, Japan does a lot of that.
I'll give you 300 million if they have to rip everything out and then build a
Now,
new
what
ride.
if
but if
no-
they're just redesigning the
I
stuff
bet
you
you
look
I-
at,
no.
300 million.
I bet you I got it. I bet you I know what they have to do, and this is where it sucks, and it's worse than you think. I bet you they do have to rip everything out, but I bet you they put that same ride right back in.
Yep.
I bet you they have to pull everything out, rebuild it, then put the ride back in place. That's why it costs so much money. The ride stays the same. They just change the stuff around it, but in order to do it right,
They have to like.
They have to rip it out because again, we're doing it right. We're not doing it like Tom and Dan would do it. If it were me and you, we'd just go in there and paint it and be like, "It's open."
But based on like the cat from The Life of Pets costing $100,000 for just a statue of like it was 3 foot tall.
Yeah,
whatever,
it was crazy expensive.
That tells me that like doing all this stuff and bringing in the best like artists and sculptors,
all new sound
and all that stuff, like
all new lights.
They're paying some absurd amount that is insane to me. Like one section of just the visual of that could cost like $500,000, and then to me it's just like it seems like too much.
No, because remember the queue line's going to need all new animation, all new voiceovers, all new.
I know.
Then you're going to need
crazy.
Then you're going to need all the press. Million. Then you're going to need to roll it out. Then you're going to need actors to work in that area to give the illusion that it's New Orleans. And you're going, you know how many alligator costumes you're going to need with a purple umbrella? You need all of that.
It's crazy.
And when you factor that all in, I bet you that's how you get to that number. Oh, man. Well, it's going to be cool. But I think I agree. The chat room is saying, and I'd like to see what everybody says kind of across the board, that Princess and the Frog is a little forced. I would agree with that.
Absolutely.
I think there's probably better choices.
Well, why not go with something newer? I guess.
I think it's a good choice.
How old is The Princess and the Frog?
Oh, man.
15, 10 years?
2009, I think, right?
It's got to be over a decade.
It was Princess and the Frog was one of the
2009.
the last true 2D animation deals, right? Or no?
No, shoot.
I've never even seen that movie.
It's a really good movie.
I haven't either. I heard it's really good though.
I got some funny stuff we'll
is
talk
the
about
frog
after.
is the old kiss the frog? It turns
yeah.
into the prince, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, loosely, yes.
All right.
Sort of.
Yeah.
But
Kiss the frog.
the concept of money lit me up whenever the Hard Rock Hotel here in Orlando is being repainted. And I talked to my buddy who's a valet, and I said, man, that's a lot of scaffolding. He goes, yeah, it cost $1 million. I said, to paint the whole hotel? He goes, the scaffolding.
Well, you also got
To hook the scaffolding up cost $1 million.
Everything is more now, so
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it makes
no.
sense, especially in construction.
You're right. Like I guess once the scale gets that big, we as regular people, regular consumers, we don't understand. We're just like $1 million for scaffolding. Like I remember when Orlando City paid $30,000 for balloons, and it blew my mind.
Holy, I
hate that.
But it was like for their MLS announcement, and there's ornate purple balloons.
There were
and
sculptures. There were like,
but it's 30,000. I was like 30,000.
There were archways. They had a drop with a net.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's more they're paying us for a year.
But you and I look at that and we're like,
balloons.
well, how much are balloons? But you're paying for the people, the vans, the gas in the vans.
I know, yeah.
The helium and the balloons.
Just for a company to do that, it has to be a gigantic company to even facilitate that. I don't know. So people are happy about this or mad that it's the Princess and the Frog or
Both.
I think there's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
The chat room seems to be a nice 50-50. I think even on this show, we seem to be like kind of like about a 50-50. The one thing I will say is I think it's going to be good.
Oh, it's going to be phenomenal.
It's
I
going
don't
to be a
doubt
great
it.
ride. I mean, and they'll do it right. The music, I didn't think about that. The idea that they could have a lot of jazz kind of, that's cool.
Oh, that soundtrack is great.
That's gonna be good. Like
Plus, like a lot of the movie is her in a boat going through like the swamps. It makes sense.
You know what? I'm gonna watch the movie and then see where I stand. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I guess they only had a certain amount of options. They couldn't do a Buzz Light. You know what I'm saying? You're
Right.
floating.
A lot of people wanted Moana, which would
Yeah.
have been good too.
Ah,
But
yeah,
Moana's going to be in
That's-
Epcot. They're
I
giving her a
think
whole land.
Maybe.
Oh,
that's-
really?
but
yeah,
not a ride.
Yeah, maybe that's where the negativity that I'm even I'm not being negative, but maybe if there's any, that's what you're feeling is because man, I really do love me some Moana.
It's a
Like
great
out of
film.
all the Disney films recently, that's the one to me that I was like, yeah, that's a goodie. Frozen, it got enough love. It's fine.
Let's call Frozen what it
Have
is.
you
It's an
seen
hour
the
and a half music
Frozen
video.
Porno?
The Frozen
What?
porno?
Yeah.
I have not seen the Frozen
the
porno.
tunes of that.
I have not seen that.
The videos are on there.
True
It's good.
Love-
it looks exactly like it.
True
I like-
Love's Kiss.
Anyway,
I'll watch
I
that.
was gonna-
I'll definitely watch that.
So
As someone who screams "It's for babies" all the time about
He
animated
loves
films,
cartoon
it really
porn.
is
No,
the tune
Loves the
porn.
cartoon. A lot of
Well,
people don't know that about Tom.
no, you know why?
Most of our clients, that's what I start with.
was
I go, before we
cool.
start this client client meeting and see if you're a good fit to sign up for being advertised on Tom and Dan. There's something I got to get off my chest. My business partner loves animated pornography. How do you feel about that?
It was, you know how like you get traumatized and then all of a sudden you have like a fetish.
This
of
all
that.
started from
Cool World.
This all started
It
from
was-
Marge Simpson,
No.
Big Blue Bush.
no. From the movie Cool World.
Yeah.
And they started, and then all of a sudden Brad Pitt.
That
he's
movie
banging.
screwed up Gen Z. What are you? Like, all you guys are weirdos because of Cool World.
No,
You're
dude.
cartoon-loving weirdos.
Jessica Rabbit. It was Jessica
I
Rabbit for
didn't
me.
look. I'm dumb old man. I like a good old human bush. You cartoon bush lovers, you
Well,
weirdos.
because I was exposed to it at the
I know.
right
You
window.
and Joey are
Yeah.
younger. You're perverts. You're cartoon
yeah.
perverts.
Not perverts. The media
Well,
did it to us.
yeah.
It's their fault.
You're victims.
And then-
Victim.
and then
Don't victim shame,
our
Dan.
parents aren't watching us, so they're like, "Yeah, watch this cartoon," but it's not. It's Brad Pitt. He's banging the cartoon,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Remember her name? Hollywood.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Good memory.
When did you watch
Hey.
that? How old were you?
Well,
10?
when did it come out?
90, I think.
1984.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
for
my-
real?
I was born in '82.
Same.
So
You were 2 years old when you got it?
No,
Oh my
but I
God,
was
you're a
young.
super.
No, I was like 6 or 7 or 8.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah,
a kid.
Apologies, 1992.
There we go. Yeah, I was
so
10.
10. Yeah,
Yep.
10 years old.
When's your birthday?
It was PG-13.
February 15th.
You got me by a few months.
Yeah.
And guess who? You know
Yeah.
who played Hollywood? Kim Basinger.
Basinger, yes.
Or Basinger, however you say him.
Yeah.
Swing.
And man, Sam, you could cosplay a little Hollywood
I've
if you
never
wanted
seen
to.
Cool World.
It doesn't hold
Don't
up.
waste
Yeah,
your
it-
time.
Okay,
it's garbage.
okay.
I mean, if you were a young boy looking to get a boner, I'd say fire it up,
Yeah.
but you're not.
It,
All right.
it was around the
Fair.
same time of Who Framed Roger. It was the
Yep.
technology.
I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I
though.
watched that. I wore that VHS tape out.
Oh, I bet you
my
did. You
God.
pervert.
Hey,
You and-
yeah.
you and-
Victim.
you and-
Victim.
you and Tom.
It was like we can add cartoons to the film, and then it was the biggest technology. And it was hard. It was stupid.
I remember thinking
It wasn't impressive.
for a split second because I was not. I mean, I'm not as young as you. I'm 5 years older, so I would
Yeah.
have been like 15, I guess, when it came out. But I remember thinking like, maybe one day we will get to marry cartoons. You know?
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
There's logic there.
yeah. I wasn't that bright.
No, right with you.
All right, Joey. Anything else for parks, or you want to move on to parlay?
Parlay, I got a good one.
Okay.
Repping Orlando City.
All right, let's bet.
Oh
Oh God, Orlando City yesterday was abysmal.
And that's kind of why I took this. Excuse me. What I'm looking at now is neither team really matters in this one with Orlando and Miami because Orlando's basically out and Miami's basically in. So I'm going to take the draw. The draw is plus 260.
All right.
Parlay it. Oh, good.
I see your logic there, where neither team has anything to gain, right? Necessarily.
I feel like you could read my mind on this. Think about this. If neither team has anything to gain, what are we also going to see none of in this game? Think soccer.
Well, attempts on goal, or is it like, what are you talking about?
You can get an extra plus 120 if there's no red cards. Because who the hell's going to foul? I can say that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Who the hell's going to foul anybody? Who needs a red card?
Okay,
They're-
I didn't think about the level of intensity. They're not playing for. Am I correct? And they're not playing for a playoff spot. Are we already at that point of
We're
the
already
season?
out and they're already in.
Oh, I didn't know we were already out. Oh,
So-
that's terrible.
So think about that. No team has anything invested. Nobody wants to hurt their
Yeah,
players.
they'll play more
Well,
clean.
well,
I would've-
Miami's probably going to play, a lot of subs or like not their starters, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can take it up to plus 620 if it doesn't meet 2.5 points. So I'm taking draw, no red cards, under 2.5 at plus 620 for one game. 100,
That's
100
really
bucks.
good.
I like that
actually.
bet.
Yeah, I actually.
Joey, that might be your
yeah.
best bet so
Yeah.
far.
Well, he
because-
had to redeem himself after he got the thing wrong. He made you mad.
Yeah. For
And now knowing you guys are both victims of cartoon pornography.
now you can parlay all those together.
Correct.
Okay.
But again, it's plus 620, but you got to meet 3 legs. But all 3 legs are pretty sound.
Totally doable.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
$100 gets you $6,200.
That
Would be amazing.
Yeah, that's a good bet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check my books. And
That's
see
not
if they
bad
have
at
that
all.
available. Sometimes, like some
And
books,
City's not a bad team. They haven't been playing well, but they're a good team.
like
Yeah.
that's a good correlated parlay in the fact that one correlates to the other. Although some books won't let you do too closely correlated parlays because you have an advantage, obviously.
Of course.
But
I think.
They're-
Yep.
Oh, what did I say? Am I in trouble?
Yeah,
I don't know. The
EJ'd it.
chat is disagreeing.
See, I
here.
didn't think that we were in the playoffs yet either.
Says we are above Miami in the table and nobody is talking about playoffs.
Yeah,
then
see?
Tommy G says wrong season.
Yeah, that's
Still months left in the season.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
write it down.
I'm running Joey.
Write
down.
it down.
Strike two. One more.
We got 2 Joeys written down. 3 Joeys written down. You might
I'm
be
out.
out.
I'm out. I'm gonna get replaced.
There was a Joey that Tom used to have that was his intern. That man, do you remember that?
Oh, I remember him.
Do you remember that, Joey?
Hang on,
Oh, my
hang
God,
on.
Ross
that
would bully
Joey.
him.
Yeah, well, Ross,
That
that's
was
because
sad.
Ross had to tell that guy to breathe. Ross like, remind that guy to breathe. Ross like, you need to breathe.
Wait, where's the camera? Tom and Dan listeners, I'd like to apologize on behalf of this past segment.
Oh, you got us all fired up for a bet that's not even real. You know what? Go in there
Yeah, I
and make
knew-
love to that cartoon.
I knew it wasn't too good to be true.
I deserve that. I'm sorry,
So-
guys.
So, the
At least we
accurate,
figured it out before we went to. Oh, that's great, Joey. Good job.
No.
so the accurate
Tom
information.
did say it was the best bet he ever said on the show, and then it was wrong.
That's
knew
on
it.
me. That's on me. I deserve it. All of
It's
it.
fine.
Bring
So-
the hate. I'm
so
sorry.
You
they-
went fast. It's fine.
So they all still are playing for something. What's Orlando City? They're not out of the playoffs.
No.
But those are.
I didn't
Well,
think
then
so
here's the
either.
question. Those are the current. Though the information I found on the internet is wrong, but the booking is correct. Like that's off of the booking website. So
So
I'm
the
still gonna,
odds are correct.
the odds
Yeah.
are correct. So I'm still going to take that math though.
Well, hell yeah, no, that's still. I mean,
not
as
as good a bet.
because I was like, yes, because that's what makes a good bet is looking at the situations and then looking at all right, what could be the edge here? What's the motivation? And there are things like that. I mean, if you're talking about gambling as a whole, like motivation does play into it. Although every player wants to play as good as possible or as well as possible because they want to impress their coaches. They want to look good.
Well, you
they want to put up
stay
good
in the
stats.
lineup,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
And every team and every person on every professional team is super competitive and they want to win. Like they go in there wanting to win. But I do feel like there is this overall understanding by everybody that's unspoken. Hey, let's not hurt ourselves. Let's not.
Oh, the coach will say that.
Let's not put our careers in jeopardy for a game that may not matter for the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, so although they will try 100% and they're professionals and they want to win, I believe there's unspoken agreements
Yeah.
within everybody because they're professionals.
Well,
like,
and
let's not hurt ourselves.
a lot of
they
that's
do this in
true.
the NFL too, like meaningless games. A lot of times you could find edges in because they're going to substitute players, maybe not start all the starters, and like that does happen. Although they do want to win, and I don't believe any team loses on purpose.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because why it's not advantageous to anybody or for any player to not try as hard.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Especially I do believe now more than ever, the internet makes everybody try as hard as they can because if they'll point out like now with
We're on the internet right now, and I got to tell you, I'm barely trying.
no, but it's like if you are like a wide receiver that doesn't run a route as 100% or let's say you don't.
Oh, you'll
try,
get called out on Twitter.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
100%.
They'll show the clip,
And it's
then-
usually kids that do it, and I hate seeing a Twitter feed where it's like a little kid. Kid's like 12, and he's like, look at Julio Jones, lazy ass. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whoa.
Back in the day, I think players, especially non-televised games and stuff, or like non-primetime televised games,
You could kind of fade in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they-
you're right.
like, people would
I have
not-
never thought of that.
not try as hard because they're like, who
Who cares? Just go through the. I'll just fake the route.
This is not a national broadcast.
Not a
This is
big
just
deal.
local, and I'm not going to try as hard
Yeah.
and games that don't matter and stuff. But now you'll be called out instantly on the internet, and your career could be jeopardized by not going 100%.
Yeah, well, it comes into play. You see people start calling out receivers for their. It's funny because you do see that on Twitter, calling them out for their. It's like their what do you call that? Effectiveness or their zest for even one. Do you even want to play this game?
Yeah, no, I mean, this happened one time. I forgot what quarterback it was, but it was the old they're running the Wildcat, and the quarterback just goes off and plays a wide receiver just because a cornerback has to cover him. So it basically, but he doesn't even he just stands there. I think it was Brady one time or whatever. Like an older quarterback, and he's not doing anything. And people are calling him out. They're like, "Look, he's just standing there," because he wasn't even going to try. Because all he is a decoy to that cornerback. But the internet called you out. You know, if you don't try 100%.
You're 14-2. Just play the second string.
So
for sure.
Joey got another thing wrong today.
Strike 2.
And we'll
Strike
see
2.
next time we have men. Although at least it wasn't the parks
we corrected
portion.
it here.
Yeah. Everything about the parks seemingly correct.
Seemingly.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll
Tune
find
in
out.
next month.
You know what's funny is they don't not let us know. Oh, we'll know for sure. Hey, always good seeing you, man.
too,
Is there
guys.
anything
Thank
you
you.
need to plug?
Nah, I just want to say thanks. And if this Orlando City, if I do still win this, I'm bringing pizza next week. Or
Nice.
I'm not-
All right,
It's
all
an act of
right.
contrition. I owe it.
That sounds great.
So since we only got a little time left, let's talk when you can leave your kids at home, because this morning and we were starting the Twitch show with this.
I think you should be able to leave them there as long as you're on the phone with them.
Well,
I feel like you should be able to leave them there as
Because-
long as you want.
because like you said, you could leave Maisie at home for 2 hours.
Oh, I could leave her for 24.
No, yeah. But I'm saying,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
if you just said, like, I'm going to leave her at home, now she's 7 years old, so way under, I guess, the legal limit, which is weird that it's 12, like,
12.
whatever it is. Like,
In Florida, yeah.
Wow, what are we, Alabama? 12?
yeah. That, like, it seems like Maisie is so independent that I would bet my entire every
I'll bet
dollar
my
that-
salary. She'd be fine.
that if you left her at home for even 6 hours,
I went outside this weekend and cleaned the garage for 2 hours, and she didn't say a word. She just stayed upstairs.
Yeah, that she would just watch her iPad. She would make herself something to eat. Now, my boys would be hungry by the time I got back.
She'll cut the crust off her bread. She'll turn on the
Yeah.
TV when she needs it. She knows how to run every device in the house. Apple TV, Xbox. She knows how to run it all.
Yeah.
Nintendo, everything.
And also, if there was an emergency, she could get out of the house herself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
and
She's more capable than I am. Barely walk because
can-
of my back.
They know not to answer the door for anybody that's not.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
uses
yeah.
the ring on her iPad.
Yeah. And so it's like it would be
She's like,
100%
it's Amazon
okay.
with my, you're late, Amazon.
But we don't do it. Like I know my wife will never leave my sons right now
feel
at
like-
home.
I feel like you can do it. You just can't say anything.
When
feel
do you
like-
think she would be comfortable leaving them
35.
home alone?
35.
Well, she's
Right.
paranoid, so she would is terrified that some crazy anomaly,
The murderer.
yeah, like, or that the house is gonna burn, like some sort of catastrophe that's never gonna happen, and it would torment her so much that every single second she left them, it wouldn't even be worth doing it, you know, because
Have they done sleepovers at another kid's house?
no, but I think they would, because they never like
Maisie's always doing sleepovers. We let her sleep out during the week. She's like a homeless person.
they don't do that move where they're like freaked out if we leave them somewhere. Like they're
No.
fine with
They're
us,
chill dudes.
with us leaving them anywhere. So they
It's
told
you guys,
us,
not them. They're fine.
like, I thought I was gonna one wheel to 7-Eleven for some White Claw the other day, and
Old dad leaving his kids to go get his alcohol.
First time for everything. Try that, huh? Yeah.
I'm familiar with this.
You're
And,
just
I
a
just-
future version of DUI dad on moped, right?
Yep.
Like DUI dad gets on scooter to go get his White Claw, but future DUI dad gets it on one
Oh,
wheel.
it's going to be really embarrassing when you get a DUI on that one wheel.
No, you
can't do it.
That's not.
He'll
a
outrun the
thing.
cops.
It's Castleberry. yeah. They let you
Hands
do
up,
it.
don't shoot.
And then I didn't do it because Crystal would have got mad. But I was like, the boys will be fine.
Well, how
they
would,
wouldn't even
let me
notice
ask you
I was
this. How
gone.
would Crystal know? We got to get you through this. You've never been a
Because
guy.
the boys would rat me out.
I'm not saying
Damn.
lie. I'm not saying lie to your wife. I don't urge anybody to lie to your wife. If you
abstain
lie to
from
your
telling
wife
the
or your
truth.
spouse, if you lie to your spouse, you're a bad person. But you don't need to offer up every piece of information that you do.
Tommy would rat me out.
Really?
Yeah, not on purpose, but my wife would trick him into telling her
There's
the
so
truth.
many cameras in your house now. I had to walk back during the fireworks and take a number 2 at your place. I
Oh,
apologize
there's a
for
camera
that.
in there.
I also cleaned the bowl. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
You think it's hidden, but it's there, and
Yeah.
it's at its genitals level.
What?
Yeah, he has a camera like in the bottom, like under where the sink is. He has a camera in the bathroom.
There.
That's too far.
No, come on. This guy's
There's
lying.
cameras
It's crazy.
everywhere.
We just got an outdoor camera. Like, it's only outdoors.
It's got the
Oh, you're
sign
not
on
doing the
it.
Seth?
No.
It's got the sign on. It's like, you are on camera.
But I'm like, every time a pool float blows by,
Yeah.
it sets off
the murderer!
the alert, and my wife's looking at it. It's a pool float.
It's the murderer!
And I'm like, what? There's nothing you're ever going to see there. It's always going to be a pool
God,
float.
it's the ghost of Ted Bundy.
Maybe a raccoon or burn pest control fall in the pool.
Don't call him out.
That's when I was like, I'm glad we because I watched that video and laughed.
I was having a bad day.
I
just
text
go
Joe
back-
Byrne.
Let me rewind, fast forward,
So
rewind,
you can-
fast forward, rewind, fast forward. Look, I make him go fast.
Anyway, let's get out of here.
All right, Joey, thanks as always for being here. We're going to take a quick break, come back with more A Corporate Time right after this.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. All right, let's talk worms.
Let's talk worms.
Let's talk worms.
Okay, I go to the back doctor today, and my back is in a bad way, and apparently I need an epidural.
Yeah, I thought that was only for pregnant
Yeah,
ladies.
I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
A lot of the listeners don't know this, but I am currently with child, and in like 10 days they're going to give me an epidural, and I'm going to poop out a baby.
Doesn't the... Okay, my wife had one twice for both kids.
My
And-
wife had twice for one kid.
And they...
No, she had once.
the tube that they put the medication in...
I wasn't allowed in there because there's only 3 people allowed in there. And it's the doctor, the anesthesiologist, and then like the patient. And then they're like, "Sir, you have to leave." And I'm like, "Oh, it's my wife." And they're like, "Get out."
They let me in, let me stay in for the
Castleberry
epidural.
Hospital.
Yeah.
You know.
They,
I bet they don't make you wear a mask in that one.
No, it was a pre-mask.
Yeah, doctor's got
Better time.
doctor's got an Alice in Chains T-shirt on.
Anyway, the tube had to remain in her spine the whole time to work, and then when they took it out, you know what I'm saying? Like
Her legs went.
so I didn't know that they can give you an epidural and then it just the effects are long lasting. It must be a different type of medication, right? Like the temporary epidural or a long. How does it work?
I guess. I mean, the
Is it an
chat room.
injection?
The chat room is talking about it. We have some people saying. We have Christine who's saying, "My mom got an epidural for slip disc issue. It does help." Other people say that Tracy, thank you. Tracy says the needle is big. Thank you, Tracy. That helps.
And so is
Yeah,
it just
that's helpful?
is it right in the spine?
Yeah. A
Oh.
big needle right in the spine. Yeah, that's helpful to me.
So is it
Am
just
I gonna be? I asked the lady. I go, "What are the risks here? Like, am I gonna be is there-
paralysis?
yeah, am I gonna?
I
be,
mean, that's got to be one of them.
I don't want to
You'd
be
think.
Like
Drake, Degrassi Junior High.
If you
Started at the wheelchair, now I'm here.
if you screwed up, I'm sure it wouldn't be good. I mean, people have screwed up.
Is it like one of those things where
Pregnancy
as soon as it
epidural.
goes in, you're like, "Hey, oh God, I think you did the wrong one," and it's like, "Meh."
Yeah, I think you know instantly. Yeah. It's
I'm
right.
like, up,
yeah.
my feet,
yeah,
my feet,
yeah.
up.
Right when you
No
can't,
more feet.
can't feel your pants on,
Yeah,
then it's like they did it wrong.
they're like,
or
and I'm
put
like,
too much.
"Oh, do I have pants on?" They're like, "Sir, you have pants on." I'm like, "Damn it, you paralyzed me.
So
Can't feel my pants."
at the actual doctor's office, you
Okay,
what
yeah,
did you
this is
say?
even the weird part that I need an epidural because my back is so rotten. So I'm sitting in. Okay, let's walk through the awkwardness that is the doctor. So the first thing that and I've been having a lot of like bad doctor's visits. Not bad in that like I'm getting bad news. It's just like seems like everybody's overworked and disorganized, and I get it. It's fine, and I'm really patient and polite. But when I got there, the lady goes, "Did you get your MRI?" And I'm like, "Yes, I did." And they're like, "Where did you go?" And I said, "I apologize, but I do not remember where I went." And they're like, "We don't have your results." And then the doctor screams from like down the hall. She's like, "We got it!" Like that. And I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess you got it."
All right.
So that's how I started off.
I mean,
Very confident. So then I went and I sat down in the chair. And the weird thing was I didn't know whether to get onto the table or sit in the chair because there's the chair on the side that's like for a old man. Your wife would come along with you. If you're a
you
young...
can't remember what the doctor
Right,
told you,
or
yeah.
she usually goes, "He's hard of hearing. I can help.
Yeah.
You know, like that sort of stuff.
Oh, Andrew would be sitting there.
Oh, yeah, she'll be there. She's, who's-
surprised she's not there.
Who says she
today.
wasn't there? No,
Yeah.
she wasn't there. So I'm sitting there, and I had to decide whether or not I was supposed to hop up on the table or not. But here's how I knew that I wasn't supposed to be on the table. The nice black nurse there that was talking sweet to me did not pull out the step and say like, "Come on up here, baby." Like she didn't do any of that.
Yeah, the dog
so then
steps.
the dog steps, exactly. I didn't need my dog ramp, so I just sat in the chair. So I'm sitting in the chair, and they do that move where they're like, "The doctor will be with you in a minute," and they step out and close the door. And you know when they say the doctor's going to be with you in a minute, like now the time is ticking. You got a half an hour. You're going to sit back there scrolling on your phone until the doctor comes back. Everybody does it.
And you hear, I like it when you hear.
Oh, I
like,
put my ear to the wall
like
and
Peanuts
listen.
in the next room where he's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I listen to
And
him
you're
too.
like, he's got to be close. He's next door, and then he leaves and doesn't come back for 20
I've heard
minutes.
him say some terrible stuff.
What are they doing?
I've heard him say some terrible stuff.
I've heard him just like chit chat, small talk amongst each other, nothing to do with the patient. You know,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
sometimes
it's
you
like,
hear
man,
small
come on.
talk. Yeah,
I think they.
but then I want the small talk too, so I'm like, it's okay. I'll get my small talk too.
I don't want that.
Do
I
you
want
think-
all business and get me the hell out of here.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about that because if I were a doctor, right?
Oh man.
I would know. I'm like, all right, I'm charging these people way too much, and so I need, and they pay a $90 copay or whatever the hell, it's like expensive
Not me,
visit.
buddy.
Yeah, or whatever, it's like
Full price.
they're paying money for this, so I have to draw the experience out so that it feels more valuable. Because if I just walked in immediately and then been like, all right, take this medication, get out of like we could do this over the phone. Like
Right.
I could tell this person what I need to tell them over the phone. They didn't even have to come here.
That's why I refused to go this last time to go over my blood results with my doctor because I got them from the Quest website. No need to. Why does she need to read me my?
Well, to charge you
numbers.
$90 for
I'm not doing it.
Well,
you
a
have
lot
to
of
come
times
in.
I don't even know what's good or bad, so I need them to like dig through the minutia because I don't know what's good. You can
look it up on Google.
Quest tells you. It tells you what your results are, and it tells you what it means.
It has like a little slider.
So I was like, what the hell do I need the doctor for?
You just go through like, oh, red.
Yeah, that part's red. That means I got to give blood
But
more.
that's why you need
it.
the doctor because sometimes it's red, and the doctor's like, it's fine. It's supposed to be red. A little bit of red's good.
But it depends on how red. It's like
Right.
2 points red, 100 points red.
Yeah, that's bad.
So what did you see?
Okay, I'm sitting in the chair, and I'm waiting for the doctor to come in, and I look to my left, and on the floor is a 6 to 8 inch long, brown and red, beefy, slimy earthworm.
Okay.
An earthworm.
Did it have a bunch of dirt? Like,
No.
Like attached
Clean
to it? Was
worm.
a clean earthworm.
Clean earthworm.
Where'd it come from?
That's what I said. I looked at the lady, and
That's not something you bring in on your shoe.
no, it's
like,
not.
like where did
It's a
it
night
come
crawler,
from?
like the kind you fish with.
Did it, like...
Don't know. I took it as a bad sign. I took it as like a fearful omen. Like you don't want the,
Oh, yeah.
You go
It's
into
like
the
a
doctor and you
crow.
look on the ground, you see did you see the earthworm's eye? Yes, I did. Oh, 1,000 devils will haunt your dreams. That's what it seemed like.
Did it come out of...
It was moving and grooving too. It was wiggling and thrashing. And
Is there a sink in there?
I said to the big black mama, I said, there's an earthworm on the ground. And she goes, just squish it. That's what she said.
So she said just squish
She
it.
said, just squish it.
Like
I
step
said,
on it?
And I said, ma'am, I'm very polite. I'm like, ma'am, I don't want to get a worm on my foot or they have like nice faux,
It's a harmless worm.
I don't want to kill it. It has no,
Yeah.
it didn't
But
have.
also, if you squish it, you're squishing...
Oh, it's
yeah,
going to be a
it's gonna
lot.
be a mess.
It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, you're supposed to have like a clean, sterile,
Yeah.
or at least it looks to be sterile.
Well, that's what my wife said. My wife said, this is probably a
Doctor's
bad
office.
sign. And then the last text I got from Andrea was, do you need a different doctor?
Well, hold on. Let's talk about because
They do not have dirt floors, by the way.
Like-
It is not an open air market. It is not. I'm not at a bazaar.
It's not
I'm
a
not
wet
at
market.
Flea World. It's not a wet market. Fauci. None of that. No, I mean, it is literally
Just
a
standard-
reputable, brand new building. The building is so new when you walk inside of it, it still has that like
it-
commercial grade carpet smell.
Were you on the first floor?
First floor.
Okay. So well,
It's possible. 'cause
First floor.
Man, it had to
Earthworm.
wiggle fast to get in a door, though, right?
yeah, it would. But
I
to
know
get-
it was carried in on somebody. It was a passenger. There's no way that thing made its way from the earth and then it journeyed through
Yeah,
doors. There's no. I mean, if
the
it
front
did,
door all the way down
We
the
gotta
hallway.
get to the bottom of
if
this.
this worm traveled without any help to where it was sitting, that I would shake his worm, whatever worms have. I'll shake him and say, "Sir, you're our next president because you are capable."
And this worm was totally alive and wiggling
Oh,
around.
wiggling, yeah.
Okay.
Well, at
Maybe
the
it
end,
came in on someone's
okay,
lunchbox at work there?
It was wiggling a lot.
I don't know. I
Okay,
gotta figure it out.
It was wiggling a lot until the point where I said to the nurse it was wiggling, and then it would stop. Like, it was almost as if it heard
tired.
me. Yeah, it was almost as if it heard me. It's like,
It saw me.
yeah.
Listen, I do a lot of digging. I don't know if you know. You guys
yeah,
know
we
this,
do
but
know that.
You're the
I-
digging king of Castleberry.
I run into
Dr.
earthworms
Diggs.
while I'm digging, right?
Yes.
And
Big boys, too, like this.
yeah. And they don't attach themselves to my sandals.
They thrash.
Yeah,
they kind of like whack themselves all around.
They're just trying to find another place to burrow themselves into, the earth. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird. I've never seen an earthworm like, get stuck to your jeans
it's
or
like
something.
a city earthworm.
Yeah. It's not like some bug crawls up your jean
You
leg.
guys just sparked a memory in my brain. I was at Disney Springs this weekend, and we were behind a lady, and I saw a roach crawl up her thigh.
Yeah, that
and it almost
happens.
got up to her romper, but she
Yeah.
finally felt it.
That
I'm like, how does
happens.
that
Gross.
Yeah,
happen?
some people live with roaches in their bodies.
So the tech wanted you to squish it.
Yes, and I refused.
Yeah.
Why, in a nice way.
But she didn't go down and try to like sweep it into a napkin or something and
No,
throw it away.
they ignored it. They acted as if it wasn't there. So then I ignored it because I'm supposed to be there for my back. So as the doctor came in, I said, "Hey, there's a worm on your ground." And she's she's Japanese. I believe she's Japanese. She was like, "Just squish it." And I'm like, "Well, do you
That's
guys?
a
Is that the
weird
policy
response.
you guys have?" Two women told
They
me.
must have a lot of worms.
And
I've
one
never-
lady was like, "You need to squish it," and then the other lady was
Squish
like,
policy.
"Squish it," and I was like, "Well, okay, well, you're back at." I did again. I said, "Well, we don't have to do that now. I'd like to talk about my epidural and my back here." So we continued that conversation, and I left with him sitting there whacking his because they whack their heads and their feet. In the middle kind of stays sedentary, and then they kind of thrash with their. And he was just kind of whacking his parts around
Trying to burrow into the next
into the linoleum
the
or
earth.
the tile or whatever it was.
Don't we
I left
know
him. I
as a society what to squish and what not to squish?
I think you squish 'em all.
No.
Megadeth.
No, it's like
Or is that Metallica?
Well, you didn't want to
Metallica.
squish the old worm.
like I feel there are lots of like a ladybug. Who is stepping on a ladybug? You're
On purpose, right?
Don't do it around my daughter. My daughter loves ladybugs.
Well,
she would cry
if
if
you-
you stepped on a ladybug.
Like
in
if you
front
see
of
a
her.
ladybug flying around, you get it on a little piece of paper and you shoot it outside. Like my
Now, where
wife.
do we draw the line?
Well, my wife. will-
Mosquitoes I kill, ants I kill, roaches I kill,
Yes, yeah. That those are my wife will kill all
lizards
those.
I kill,
No
and then,
lizards.
and then Great Danes and Golden Retrievers I'll kill.
My
no,
wife-
I
What
don't
about
kill lizards.
grasshopper?
No,
No, leave them alone.
my wife will like,
Locust. Those
well,
things look scary.
The yellow ones, leave them alone.
Yeah.
will trap a spider and let it out.
Yeah.
Like, she won't kill a
I'm
spider.
not going near a spider.
I don't
Yeah.
kill spiders anymore because I got burned one time smushing one with babies, and then it just gets out of hand. Just let him out.
Yeah. And if like mosquitoes, ants, cockroaches, that's a smushing bug.
Yeah,
But when you
worms. I don't think any worm you should
Get,
squish.
when you get to worms and lizards and things like
You
that,
don't
it
squish
was
'em.
like I remember the story about my art teacher in 6th grade. He smushed a mouse, like he stepped on a
that's-
mouse. Some people's initial instinct
Is
is
to
to
smush.
Yeah.
I
And
don't think we're smushers here.
I don't know if it's a. What if it's a
Sam might be a smusher.
What if it's a
I'm
cultural
not
thing?
smushing a worm.
If you had said, "Hey, there's a worm in here," and the lady said, "Smush it," would you have walked over?
Well, number one, like we said before we started recording, I would have never said anything.
Oh, yeah,
I would have
yeah.
just looked at the worm crawl across the
Yeah,
ground.
you would have taken a couple photos. I didn't get a photo of it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to shame them. For me, now me and Sam.
Oh, so
have
you're saying
different-
it's like a
Sam,
cleanliness thing?
Sam doesn't want to get in a just like she wants to mind her own business
Correct.
at all times and
Yeah.
never even she's not like, hey, there's a worm. She's like, mind your business.
Yeah, that's their worm. Don't even ask
Maybe he's
about
got an
it.
appointment. I don't know.
To me, I don't want to tell them because I don't want to make them feel bad.
Oh my
that their
God.
office is
The worm's
disgusting.
What if they were like, "He's back, you mother"?
Well,
Sir, we asked you to leave.
Now, what if it was like a snake? Would you tell him then?
I think you gotta
you'd
tell
have
him
to,
it's a
right?
snake 'cause it's dangerous.
Snake.
Or a
See where the
wolf.
lines are.
Yeah.
Or like a wolf.
There's a wolf in this
or a
waiting
mouse.
room, ma'am.
A mouse, you got to say something, right? Or no?
So
What about mouse, Sam? You walk in, you see a little baby mouse in the corner.
I would say something.
Yeah, because now you have a
See, I think
rodent
worm.
infestation.
No, worm is crazier to me than mouse. Mouse is like, look, you're
Yeah,
in the
they
middle.
live in the walls.
You're literally in the middle of an area that has nothing but restaurants. This doctor's office, it's a brand new doctor's office. It is completely believable to me that there's a mouse in their building. It's not believable to me that there's a
Yeah.
worm in their building. So I say you say that there's a worm. You don't say anything about the mouse.
Because the mouse, I guess, with a rodent infestation, there's like a cleanliness thing. Worms, I don't think there's anything you could do to attract worms inside because they just live in the dirt.
So it's a complete anomaly.
But it must have crawled in there because
Fell out of the ceiling.
it's not crawling through the pipes, right?
it
is there a
had-
sink in there?
Yes,
Ah,
there is. There,
Are worms known for being in sinks?
don't know.
sink worms are.
Don't know.
I'd made that up. I don't know what that is.
Oh, my buddy Fernando told me that a rat crawled in. He had some plumbing issues, and he left his that hole outside of your house that's like the trap or whatever, like the plumbers use to get into your like main line or whatever. It's usually like a PVC screw-on top that's just outside like the window of your house or
yeah,
on the
we have
perimeter.
one. We have one for this place
Yeah.
right out there. I pour bacon grease down it all the
I don't
time.
think you're supposed to do that.
Everybody has one, and like plumbers use it to get clogs out or whatever. But he had the
Old
thing
plumber's
up,
secret.
and he's got avocado trees, and it brings rats
Oh,
and
man.
and he saw one running down into the pipe, and then he's like, "Oh God, it went in there!" And then
You gotta smoke him out.
so then his wife was freaked out. They was like, "The rat's gonna come into our toilets." And then he's like, "No, that can't happen." Then he talked to a plumber. He's like, "Oh yeah, that can happen."
What,
So-
you flush the toilet, he comes out of the toilet?
and then for the next month he was terrified of
Yeah, but he
taking
comes
a
Oh,
douche.
I would
out.
be
But he
too.
comes out dead. It's not like the
No.
rat's gonna come out and be like, "Daddy's home." You
Yeah,
know, like,
bite your butt cheeks.
No, it's not gonna bite your
Dude, the
butt
plumber
cheeks.
said they could
Fake.
swim and hold their breath for a
Fake-
long
no,
time.
fake news.
Dude, they live in the sewer.
Oh, Michael Phelps
Oh, that's
rats.
true. They do live in the sewer.
They could swim for an insane amount of time
don't hold their
underwater.
breaths
they
in the
do.
pipes.
They hold their breaths in the
No,
pipes.
that's fake news. That is not a real thing.
That's what he said. The plumber in Miami
And you
told
flush,
me.
you flush your deuce, and then a rat comes up, bite your butt cheek.
Yeah, or it just comes out of the hole.
Rats are excellent swimmers with bendy bones and can squeeze into the smallest of spaces. They can hold their breath for up to 3 minutes.
Oh, my God.
And tread water for 3 days.
You
Why are we
had-
killing these things?
You had me at bendy bones.
Because they're crazy.
and they do commonly come up waste pipes. It says.
Yeah,
Whoa.
my wife would burn the house down. Like, she never used the toilet again.
I would pour concrete into the toilet and it'd become a chair.
Because every time you're sitting on it, you're thinking a rat's gonna pop up. Imagine
Oh,
how
there's a
terrifying.
video of it.
Imagine
I
how
don't know
scared
about
you'd be.
watching it. Of a rat?
Of a rat
but-
coming up a toilet.
Yeah,
I
if
remember
you
as a
heard-
kid, I used to think someone would jump up and bite my balls or something like that.
Or a snake,
A snake,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a snake in the toilet. Although the rat, I think, is more likely. Anyway,
We need something to launch off of to like jump bite. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not launching off of
no,
water.
it would just be scratch. It wouldn't bite. It would probably just be scratching and
You would just feel some
flailing around.
water
You'd be
hitting
like, "No!"
You'd feel some water touching your buttocks.
Oh, you'd hear it scratch.
Yeah. And it'd
Oh
probably
my
be making like
God.
Oh,
like little noises
my
like
God.
that. Yeah. Oh, it's terrifying.
If that happened just one time, you could never live in your house again, right? Because you could never use your toilet again in peace forever. You never. Like, I'm a logical guy.
You'd have trauma from it
And
for sure.
Like, I'm a logical guy, and I understand the statistics, or at least I think I do. And I would say to myself, well, it happened once. It's statistically never going to happen again. But I could not use my toilet without thinking about a rat coming out of it again.
Well, this is a new fear I never thought I'd have.
Yeah, thanks
for
a lot,
that.
dude. We started with
Well,
Dr. Worms.
Yeah, we were harmless with the
Yeah,
worms.
Dr. Worms, and now we're at toilet rat.
I think that's why you're not supposed to leave that hole open because things can crawl in there. Like, other than that, it's not crawling through the city pipes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's some sort of fail safe from the street. But if it gets in right in front of your house,
Oh, God.
and then it just goes either one way or the other. If it chooses the wrong direction or the right,
I don't like
it's
that
going
at
to your
all.
toilet.
Yeah, I very much dislike this.
So, so you left the worm there and just
Yeah, I never-
and seemingly it's just there still.
When you walked out, did you see the worm?
I did. I took one last glance as I was leaving. I said goodbye to my doctor. I didn't mention it a second time to the doctor. I mentioned it once, maybe like once in conversation with the nurse, once in conversation with the doctor. The doctor didn't seem to care at all. And I'm like, all right, moving on.
So, okay, if we're in, say we have a client meeting.
We used to
right?
get worms here. Remember the little worms?
Yeah. They come in, like, usually when it rains hard, they'll come out of the soil. But if we had a client meeting and I'm sitting there and a client's on the couch and he's like, you got a worm crawling on your carpet, I'd be like, oh, I'd go get
Grab a little tissue.
Oh,
yeah.
or a piece of computer paper. I'd shoe it on there and then throw it out on the grass. I wouldn't just be like, I'll smoosh it.
Yeah, that is a weird.
Or just like ignore that.
It's supposed to be like
Continue.
a sanitary place, and you're telling me to squish a worm?
Yeah, or like also I'm kind of embarrassed that there's a worm in my business. Like
Right.
that's like if I was the doctor, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, there's a worm
God,
here.
It's very unprofessional. I have my worm out, my pet worm. It got out.
Jim.
Yeah,
It's
gee.
like, this is my business, and there's a worm. I'll sweep
You
that
know
up
what?
for you.
5% off your epidural.
Or call in the receptionist. I don't know who the doctor calls in. Who's the lowest rung?
Tamika, can you get in here? There's a worm on the ground.
Yeah, like it's the lowest rung, like on the hierarchy of a doctor's office. Who's the receptionist, right?
They had it would be male receptionist, and they do have one.
Yeah.
There are two, and you can tell the lady's in charge, and he's the do everything.
And because the nurse,
Or perhaps a custodial worker or something.
yeah, I guess a big
Jerry, the worm is back in.
a family practice probably doesn't have
Right.
a janitor. They probably have one cleaning company.
Yeah. It's
like
an
Her Majesty or something.
observation room 2 has a worm in it.
And, people act weird.
Yes,
and I don't
that is
understand.
true.
I'm like, why are you behaving like this? Like, why? It's weird.
Well, I think that.
Why'd you just say squish it? Why are you doing nothing about it?
Here's
weird.
Here's why. I think you're right, but I think the reason they were saying squish it is because it's such a strange place to have a worm. So even what to do with it, their idea of what to do with it is off. Like they're like, squish it, because they don't know. Well, he shouldn't be there.
Well, I mean,
You know.
And then just leave the squished worm?
okay,
It's like a fish on the surface of the sun. It shouldn't be there. Just squish it.
But okay, let's do this, Matt. So that doctor has
Worms in her office.
Through her college courses and whatever, like she has dissected things, right? All the way up to she's probably done some sort of human cadaver stuff while she was, in medical school, right? They all
Right.
do that stuff, right? So it's not like she's squeamish over,
Well, it might be different with bugs and
nobody
humans.
was afraid of the worm.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not
Including me. Like I would, if she'd have said, like, "Can you please take that out? Take that with you, sir." Or if I was walking, she's like, "Sir, you left your worm." I'd be like, "Yes, I did." Like I don't know. I would have done something. I just found it to be very strange that there was an earthworm in my observation room.
But just the standard human go-to is to get a bunch of Kleenex into a little,
Right.
like a...
I looked for Kleenex. They didn't have any
Pillow
out.
cloud
Like
for the
a
worm.
little
They did
cloud.
have cotton balls. They had the little cotton ball thing. I thought of getting 2 cotton balls and lifting them up.
Well, they got a Kleenex in a doctor's office for sure.
They also have those like popsicle sticks.
or toilet
2
paper.
popsicle sticks.
And then you make it into like a loofah type big poof, and then you
I didn't really want to touch it.
you pick it up and then throw it in the toilet.
I didn't want to move anything
Toilet?
though for the
Yeah.
idea that I'm sitting there and then doctor walks in and she's like, Tamika, have you seen room 1's security worm? Or I don't know what's is in there. Where's the worm? He's like, I don't know. Like, where's my assistant?
Can you ask for like money off the visit because there's a worm in the office?
I mean, I could have been. Oh
Can
yeah,
you be like,
I
I
could have
need
gone
10% off?
I could have been full Karen on him or on her and been
You know
like,
someone has.
yeah, and be like, worm. Oh my God.
What kind of place are you running here?
I am out of here. You will hear from my attorney.
But again, it's not a sign of messiness or cleanliness
No.
or like roaches are ants.
It wasn't
like rodents.
okay. Let me because I know what you guys are doing with your imaginations right
It's like
now.
a bird gets in your house. It's like
Yeah.
it's a random like my
Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
it
like
flew
that.
in here by accident.
And it was clean too. It didn't have like little speckles of dirt on it. It wasn't slimy. It wasn't leaving from at least I did have my glasses on, but it wasn't like leaving a trail. It was just a worm sitting there moving,
Yeah.
like whacking its head and its tail back and forth, kind of rolling back and forth. Kind of hard to miss because it's moving in your peripheral vision.
yeah. And
But
it's not,
I'm seemingly the only person that saw it.
it's not tiny.
No, it's big.
Um,
Anyway, that's weird. There's that.
Also, would you tell someone if they had a spider web in the corner of
I told your
their-
wife this yesterday about your house. You're
That-
covered. I'm kidding.
outside? Yeah, get the spider webs. Although Burn does do a good job. They have that long stick with the feather
The
end.
purple thing.
Yeah. You just get the spider webs out
Except
the corner.
with the baby spiders. Then ah!
Oh my
I'm
god.
whacking them good.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll do some voicemail, email. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
A couple things. Eric, Merchman Eric, is going
Yeah,
to be
buddy.
at the Sanford Food Truck Fiesta this Sunday. He'll be selling some Tom and Dan merch and giving away some giveaways. It's free. So if you see him there and if you want to go to a food truck festival, it's gigantic.
It's-
Yeah, it's over 40 trucks.
Yeah,
It's kind
too
of
many.
like, I mean, if you were going to do the food truck thing, this would be the one to go to because you're not going to have as many options anywhere else. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many trucks, so many different types of food. It's ridiculous.
We also have the Villain / Tom and Dan co-branded merch
Yep.
up on tomanddan.com.
You can check all that out. I have the hat on right now. We have coffee, crop tops, kids shirts, lady shirts.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. It's the brand new logo the Danger Brain made. That's Villain collaboration with us.
And also we'll be out in DeLand July 29th at Cafe Da Vinci for a free Little Stranger concert. I think True Phonic is opening up, and we're all going to be out there hanging out with some BDMs and watching some Little Stranger. By the way, look them up on YouTube. They're great.
Yeah, really good band. I've got voicemails. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to the Doctor and the Worm? Didn't we used to play a song called
Oh.
Dr. Worm?
Yeah, what was that? Well, what I
What?
wanted to add to it is, what is the size? I feel like Worm may be the last of the big critters that can be ignored by people if they're in someone's, which is weird because, like, think about it. If something bigger, if, let's say, a bird was in your office, right? People would be like, oh my God, like they would have to do something about it immediately, right? They wouldn't ignore it.
See, I feel like you got to do something about Worm faster than Bird.
Faster?
Than Bird.
Well,
I think
if
Bird,
it was-
you're like, it's a bird. It ain't gonna. It's not like it's gonna attack you or anything. But Worm, I feel like could get in the way, get stepped on. He's on the floor. The bird, he's usually up on on the exit sign.
It's true. The bird is more out of the way, but I feel like people would panic more for a bird.
You're right.
And then it
And
goes.
squirrel people lose their. I mean, they just lose
Oh,
it.
yeah. You can't have a
We
squirrel
had a
running on.
squirrel that came down my chimney that destroyed one of my mom's Oriental lamps. You could say it then. And it broke it, and my dad was so mad, and they had to call the county, and then they were told that there was a squirrel's nest inside the chimney, but they couldn't burn it out. They had to wait till they leave naturally, and my dad hated that. He wanted to pour gas down the chimney and just burn the whole house down.
What about a tiny frog?
I've killed tiny frogs before.
They squished a tiny frog?
When
you
I-
gotta let it jump off the computer
When I
paper.
was little, I got in trouble for letting. Frogs would crawl into those ant lion
Yep.
holes. The little bait. You remember those little frogs?
Yeah.
After a rainstorm, you get a frog. I swear to God, the frog would literally be the size of the top of a tack.
Yep.
Or like a pin.
Those
like,
were the cuties.
And
yeah.
then I'd cover them in sand and be like, I think they're dead.
Aw.
Oh, Ramsey over
Yeah.
there.
Again. Abraham Goodfriend in the chat is very distraught. They believe that you did not see an earthworm and that you probably saw a rusty millipede.
I know Rusty Millipede. And
And it wasn't him?
a rusty millipede, it was big. Rusty millipedes are
They're
like.
pretty big.
Well, they have a bunch of tiny legs.
Yeah,
No,
they
this
do.
didn't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
legs.
All right,
No.
Abraham.
This wasn't like
A
it wasn't
smooth worm.
Smooth criminal.
Yeah, and centipedes and millipedes, they have a tendency to move kind of like they have to be like all in succession, right? They're all like moving together. It's like a dance. It's beautiful when you watch
Yeah,
a
yeah.
millipede. This worm is thrashing and whacking like he was not. He's where's
Yeah.
my dirt?
Yeah, they just whip themselves around.
They're like Willow Smith, very much like Willow Smith.
All right, let's do. What do you want to do first?
Voicemail. Oh,
Voicemail.
Dr. Worm is a song by They Might Be Giants. We used to play this for you for some reason.
They call me Dr. Worm. Good morning, how are you?
There you go. Good morning, Dr. Worm by They Might Be Giants.
When did we played that before? Right?
I have something to confess.
Uh-oh.
When alternative music fans growing up would tell me, "Oh, Dan, do you like They Might Be Giants?" I would lie to you and say I did. I would lie to you and say like, "Oh yeah, they're great," but they're I almost cursed.
Don't.
I almost said the S word. They are an SE nerd band, and I do not like them.
Yeah, they're no Weezer.
Yeah, they're not.
But they're trying to be, right?
But Weezer's making me mad too because they're just putting out too much music. Rivers, you got to pull it back, homie. It's not all good stuff. You got to pull it back. That new summer album they just released. Oh my God! Please just stop. You're putting out too much music.
Was it bad? How bad could it be?
I mean, it's not bad, but it just makes all the other stuff bad. Because it's like, oh God, you're just pooping it all out. Stop pooping.
They're diluting their quality
A little bit. We do that too, though. So you know.
Well, I feel like with a band, though, I mean, when you put out a song, it pretty much lives forever, right? It's like when you put out a show, a podcast or whatever, it dies off after a while.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going back to show number...
I don't know. That was a good
253.
one. Oh, 253 was a good one. It's a barn burner.
But that Weezer album will live in their library forever.
Yeah.
Like, when they're dead, they'll be like, here's how many albums, and 5 of them
They're
suck.
doing like this concept thing called Seasons where they write songs for each seasons, or I guess he does, and it's just too much. I listen to a little bit of it. I'm just like, ugh.
It's got to be hard for a band that has that much success. I bet most of them don't think like this.
Isn't They Might Be Giants? They did Particle Man, right? Particle Man, doing a thing like a particle can.
I don't know if I know any songs by They Might Be Giants. What's their biggest hit?
Particle Man.
Well, I don't know. I don't think.
But it's just like a joke type
I don't think they're a joke band. Istanbul is not Constantinople. That's their biggest.
But it's like...
This is some 90s nerd crap.
Oh, man.
Yeah. They're...
Build a little birdhouse in your soul. That's the one I remember the most. Here we go.
Istanbul was Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople.
I do know this song.
Constantinople, now it's Turkish delight on a moonlit night.
You're not getting any. You're not getting any. If you love this band, you're alone.
Oh, Jackal, I apologize.
Oh, he likes
okay. That says a lot. That's a lot.
yeah. Oh, yeah, because he likes goof songs.
Well, I'm a Weird Al guy, right?
No, yeah.
And I don't
okay.
think Jackal. I think you can be one or the other. Look, if you're gonna go goof, go full goof. I think these guys kept one toe in alternative music, and I think that's what aggravates me about them.
They didn't go full goof.
No, you got to go full goof.
They're like,
you can't wear the clown
tongue-in-cheek,
suit but not put the
snarky.
nose on.
Yeah,
you got to put the nose on.
They're like, I'm too cool for the nose.
Yeah,
That's
this is the one that I played that my wife knew. I'm going to get a lot of emails about this because I know for a fact that this is a beloved band that I'm assassinating right now. Here, this is the big one. This was the biggie when I was growing up. Birdhouse in your soul.
Never heard this in my life.
It's nerd. It's just so nerd.
There was a time in the 90s, and okay, what's the band, the roof's on fire?
Oh, that's Bloodhound Gang.
Bloodhound Gang. Because I feel like
they're way no.
They're cool. No,
you
no,
can't make that. They're not a nerd
it's
band like this.
Not the same.
Like this is more Devo.
True, but they both kind of specialized in we're making our songs are goofy and ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I would even argue the Bloodhound Gang leaned in more than even They Might Be Giants. I think these guys were still trying to be like, we're still an alternative band. We just happen to have high IQs.
Yeah, Bloodhound Gang was pretty explicit.
Yeah, they cursed a lot, and
did.
they like porn stars and stuff.
Yeah. No, they're not even the same, but I feel like it's in the same genre of like their goal was more comedy. Even though they might be giants.
Would you say that about like Real Big Fish? So a lot of their songs.
God, they aggravate me. Real Big Fish, I would put into the They Might Be Giants category of a band that they're keeping.
They're ska nerds.
Yeah, they're keeping one toe in. We're still a legitimate, good alternative band. We're not full goof.
Yes, yeah,
I would
yeah.
like you more if you went full goof. I think
right.
I feel a lack of commitment.
You're right. You got to go full goof. If
Like these guys are like I can't find the Particle Man one. Here's Particle Man. This is the big one. Man, I'm gonna get a lot of emails about this. People mad.
Particle Man. Doing
Wait,
the
this sounds like
things a
Jackal.
particle can.
Oh, this is what No Skip
What's
Van
he
is based
like?
on, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
That's why it sounds
Particle
familiar.
Man. Is
I've
he a
never
duck
heard this.
Or is he a speck? When he's underwater, does he get wet? Or does the water get him instead? Nobody knows. Particle Man.
So, okay, now Frogging Molly is doing the number one thing that people do when you've insulted a band that is a nerd band. The first thing you say when people okay, I like a band that a lot of people hate, Coheed and Cambria. I love that band. But people hate the way Claudio sings. So they'll say, I hate that band. And my first reaction is to say what? I say this, they're amazing musicians. And that's exactly what she just did for this band.
Okay.
You always
I
do
think
that.
she was talking about Cake. I don't think she was
okay.
talking about They Might Be Giants.
I don't think I'd think of any of them as being amazing musicians. I mean, they're not
like that,
quote players. They're
like
you know.
they can't say with a straight face that song "Particle Man" is a like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
I can say with a straight face that is a stupid song.
yeah, but but I wonder what their take on it is. If they're like, no, would they admit like, oh, this is
Would they
goofy-
admit that their own songs are lighthearted and goofy? Probably.
or would they be like try to explain it like, no, there's deeper.
These are the
you
type
know-
of bands that bother me because it seems like they're doing music secondary. And what I mean by that is they've got really high IQs. This could be totally wrong, by the way. This is just what I'm feeling in my true core. These guys are, I'm just painting a picture of bands that I dislike, are bands that they do music like, oh, we just do that because we enjoy it. We're not really good at it. Where we're really good at stuff is like solving diseases and nuclear, I'm doing nuclear science.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a physicist by trade. I just dabble in music. Those guys anger me because I'm like, you're not. Your music is just weird garbage, and now you're forcing it on us. And because
How do you feel about the presidents of the United States of America?
See, I like them.
I like them too.
I like them, but
that came out around the same time as this, right?
Right, but I like
did.
them
Like,
and I don't like this.
They're singing about
Well,
peaches.
Not as nerdy. These presidents of the United States have a beer now and again. They're not straight nerd. And their drummer was super duper talented, and they invented their own instruments with the git bass and the. I believe the bass guitar for presidents only had 2 strings, and the guitar only had 4 strings. They invented their own instruments. They invented their own chords.
Isn't that kind
to
of nerdy
play.
though?
It's extremely nerdy, but it's all in how you package it, right? Like.
Okay, this I may be totally off, and people
Or I'm
may
just
get mad.
talking one big, hypocrisy. I'm just injecting that into my face.
So the cooler version of this, but kind of in the same, like the songs are over the top, ridiculous. Primus, like
Yeah, I would put them in a band
Weird.
that's annoying a weird band.
yeah,
I
like
can't listen to it.
it's
Me neither.
It's
And
not for me.
bizarre,
I
weird,
used to
great.
love it. Sailing the Seas of
musicians.
Cheese was one of my favorite albums of all
I
time.
was never into it.
I go back and revisit Les Claypool now, and I want to knock his fedora off. I just want to. I get so mad at him.
Like the song "Jerry Was a Race Car
Love
Driver" but it's bizarre.
It is bizarre.
And
That album, I love that album. But if I go back now and listen to the Lennon Claypool Delirium, any new Les Claypool, I listen to it now, and I get hot, like I get mad at it. I'm like, why do you have to be so freaking weird?
Does he still put out music?
Oh yeah,
Does Primus still put out,
Yeah.
or just Les
I think
Claypool?
the original lineup's back together too. I think Tim Herb Alexander came back to the band after many years of exile.
You know what's like? What always fascinates me is like, how much better is Les Claypool now in 2022 than he was in 1998 at bass? Because we're talking or even
He's a
1997,
more
20.
experienced player. I wouldn't say his chops would be any better because I think he's always had chops.
Yeah.
But mentally, his awareness and how to play is probably so good because he's been around so many other amazing bassists, top tier guys.
Yeah. But that's weird to me. Is like 25 years since I liked Primus in the 90s, and he's like not that much better at playing bass. And you would think he'd be insanely better because he practiced for 25 extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it doesn't work out that way. It's
No.
weird. I guess like age too diminishes it, just
Touring.
like anything else. Like
Touring, interest, family.
but you would think just from pure practice that long, you'd be insanely better than 1997, but you're probably not.
Yeah, a lot of people, I don't even think some guys don't even practice anymore.
They're performing as practicing,
Let's switch gears real quick. Where are you with your obsession with Giants?
I still like
Rick's
seeing
still
a good
calling
giant.
it. I mean, Rick is
Rick,
in the surfing challenge.
God.
We have a giant that listens to the show named Big Rick. Tom thinks that this giant is too big to surf.
I saw him laying on, it could have been a paddleboard, though, watching fireworks for the 4th
That doesn't count as surfing.
He was laying at a lake.
I think that's Tom was right then.
I think that qualifies you less for surfing than walking. You're just laying on a giant float. That's easier than walking.
I mean, some would say the only thing stopping him from drowning is the board, right? I mean,
so
let's here we go.
Tom, I'm listening to you talk to the guys from Hourglass and about how you emailed Lola about the Red Snapper Ale, and I'm laughing my ass off, but I'd like to know if you use Gmail because you can send an email where you ask about a Red Snapper Ale, and if you make a decision that you say to yourself, I shouldn't have said that, you can push the unsend button.
No, right at the end, you ruined it.
Oh my God.
So you could hit send on email and then hit unsend, and as long as that person didn't look at it, then
Is that a thing?
I was not aware of that.
I didn't know you could do that either. I know that there are people. I remember in Clear Channel there would be times when a big higher up would send an email, and then they would send like an email later where they could do that, where they could pull that email back. And I always thought that was like cheat. I was like, that's cheating.
Okay, so if you decide you don't want to send, this is Gmail specific. If you do not want to send an email and you have a short time after to cancel it, right after you send the message, you can retract it. You will see in the bottom left, it'll say message sent and the option to undo or view message.
So if you accidentally hit send, you
I
can
think
go
it's only
and-
like a 5 Mississippi though.
Oh,
You
yeah,
see
yeah.
that little
Oh, my God.
notification?
Yeah.
I have to know how to spell Mississippi to even do that.
Also, I don't realize my mistakes until.
We know.
Until
years down
Okay,
the
it
road.
says you can only recall it within 30 seconds of sending it. So you
what
got 30
good is
seconds.
that? What good is that?
I only knew it was a mistake when they're like, "We'll go with dad jokes."
Yeah.
and then I was
Then it's
like,
like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said
and then I was like, "Well, what about the red snapper?
yeah,
That's
you
the one
can't-
I like."
Yeah, you can't take it back.
Yeah, subject line.
3
red
days later. 3 days later, you can't take it back.
Yeah. And then right when I was
You
thinking,
show up dressed like a red snapper.
yeah, like, right when I
Fish
was,
costume.
when I was mad and thinking to myself, "What about the red snapper?" That's when I realized my mistake, and I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, probably shouldn't have
God.
suggested that because that's inappropriate in a business email."
How about long, hairy, and hard to carry? Secondary choice. Why would you do that, man? All right. Is there anything else we need to plug? Hey, bookairtnd.com.
Oh yeah.
Cleanest Airbnb you'll ever find.
We got the longest guest thing in it this week. 1 week. They booked it
it's
for
been
1 week.
Just long enough to install the devices.
And although I do have to go make some repairs.
How
Oh,
come we're
what
always having
happened?
repairs over
My
there?
God, you're over there. You're there more than
anybody.
Than,
the cleaning lady.
You're like a fixer-upper show.
Well, the last guest said that
We broke the bed. We were boofing so hard. We boofed so hard. We broke the maloofs, brother.
Boof on the Maloof.
one of the the transition
You let transient people
No,
stay
no.
there? One of the transients boofed too hard on the maloof. It's a boof-maloof scenario, brother.
the transition between the bathroom tile and the wood, that strip.
Oh, yes.
It got kicked up.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I was like,
That'll knock your big toe off.
that got kicked up, and then our the irrigation that I installed, it got
digging,
stuck,
yeah.
and it's just been spraying the shed. So
Make sure you water the shed.
So
It's hitting the metal.
at 7 in the morning when I set the timer, it's been like.
But it
shooting-
does go.
No, it got stuck. It was just spraying the shed for
Oh,
20
my
minutes
God.
straight, which woke us.
Well, have the one guy plug his golf cart in and run over there and unplug it.
So I gotta go and fix some things. Gotta put my tool belt on. My wife got me.
Do you wear a shirt? I saw it. You mean your bucket with the
Yeah, oh,
tool
yeah,
pouches
yeah,
on it?
yeah,
He
yeah.
has a bucket that he can sit on that has wheels, and it has a leather. The bucket has a belt, and you put your tools in the bucket
I
belt.
want that for gardening.
It's pretty dope.
Well, she's like, I got you this. Then I'm like, I put all my heavy tools in a bucket and then carry for what?
Now
What
you're like a real slumlord.
So you just go out to the Airbnb.
you do need a tool belt of some sort
Yeah.
because
Do you wear a shirt?
you lose everything.
Yeah, I do. I also don't know what I'm doing,
That's
so
correct.
I shouldn't go out there and try to
Well,
fix
no.
anything.
Well,
But I think I can.
so what? Hey,
I'm
write that
just-
down for a children's book. Write that. I think I can. I think that's good.
Oh yeah, call me Thomas.
I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Anyway, bye bye. Welcome back to a corporate time. Don't forget, Eric's going to be out this Sunday at the Food Truck Fiesta in Sanford. They do them. Is it the second
Sunday of each
every
month. Yep.
And it is a. How do I put this? It is a buttload of food trucks.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot.
So
Something for everybody.
you can get out, get some T&D sunglasses. He gives those out for free.
Stop by. Eric likes it when you stop by and say hi.
You can get
Yeah.
some Mo DeWitt sunscreen or chapstick
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever he's
Hey,
handing out
that
that day.
sunscreen actually works pretty damn
It's-
good.
You need it.
Yeah,
Trust
it's
me.
good.
So tons of giveaways, and you can buy some merch. He always has stuff for sale there.
Yep.
All right, let's do some email.
Okay.
Yeah, we neglect our email pile bad.
Hey, all. I was listening to an ACT, and there's a lot of talk about balls flipping and flopping out of shorts. Well, I just got some new underwear from a company called Shinesty, and their underwear contains a signature ball hammock that they claim will bring you to Valhalla.
Peace, pause, not peace. I was going to peace too. Yeah, like peace, but pause. We were talking about that this morning. You and I, our shorts have gotten smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
I wear briefs, so I have been having a lot of trouble with my boys because I've lost a decent amount of weight, and
The leg holes are baggy.
well, everything like my waistline is like my underwear doesn't fit.
You got to get
correctly.
bikini cut.
I do need to get a tighter cut bikini because I have a saggy old man, yellow saggy.
Why do they make it so big as if everyone's got a big country ass?
Everybody, I think most men do have a larger country ass.
I think it's like a one
I feel
size
like most
fits
men
all.
don't.
I have a tight, rotten peach ass.
They need to.
It's tight. It's
they can't
there,
do
but
it-
it's rotten.
But they need to like specify. Like if you're a white guy, most likely, just a stereotype, you have
Frog
a
butt.
frog
Frog
ass.
ass,
You
yeah.
know, like it's just whatever.
Yeah.
It's just what I've seen.
flat.
My
Living
husband's
on
the exception.
It's
yeah,
flat.
yeah.
He's got some cakes.
Yeah, some guys have cakes.
Similar, Max, my son,
Yeah.
he has he's gonna have a badonk when he grows up. Like he has always had
Yeah.
it. Tommy, just that
Oh,
inverted.
no.
Might as well be inverted.
Yeah, I'm
it's
normal.
unfortunate.
I'm not flat. I'm not. I'm not
Yeah.
erect.
Well, being
Shorter.
little person.
Yeah, it pooches out. Yeah,
You
yeah.
have
My legs do bow out.
and then
horribly.
and
Horribly.
stereotypically, you
Yeah.
have a bigger.
I have a waddle when I
badonk
walk.
ass.
Yeah, I have a badonk ass and I waddle when I walk.
Anyway, well, what
Next
was this?
email.
It
First
says,
email.
I was sold on them when I read a review that stated they make it impossible to sit on your balls. So far, I can say they are pretty comfortable.
that's never been in the buying, like I've never gone to, wherever I'm buying underwear and go like, okay, no matter what, gotta make it impossible to sit on my balls. It's just not a thing.
So far, I can say that they are pretty comfortable, and I've noticed my balls staying in place much better, and I have not squished them between my legs or sat on them while wearing them. They come in all styles, and from briefs to trunks to boxer deals. They're a little pricey, but come on, the peace of mind knowing you're not going to sit on your boys is priceless. Thought it could be some good show.
Yeah, not
fodder.
wearing those. I'm not doing that. I'm not wearing the pants with the built-in liner. I'm not wearing the ball pouch.
Oh yeah, Chubby's is doing that
Yeah,
now.
I'm not doing any of that because you can only wear those shorts one time before you get some sort of stains inside of them. And anybody that says they don't get stains in them, you're lying. You're just lying. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to the rest of the world. I wear standard Army issue white American Fruit of the Loom.
It's too cottony.
That's all I need.
You need
That's all I need.
the better technology.
No, I'm not wearing. I don't even like it when your underwear is multicolored. I don't like characters.
Wow.
I don't like.
thought you were the fun one.
No, I don't like Pride
Tom
underwear.
does wear fun underwear.
No, I don't like. That's the only time he has fun is his stupid underwear. I don't like Pride
All
underwear.
my underwear have raccoons.
I don't want
What?
raccoons. I don't want flags.
What do you got on
No,
today?
this is a standard Hanes.
Yeah, look.
But I did have the MeUndies. I had all.
Regular
Oh, they're
they're
baggy.
billowy.
They're baggy.
Why is there so much material?
Because I told you I
It's like
got
a parachute.
I got a
They're dingy.
bulldog ass.
They're dingy.
I got off-white. I have off-white
There's a lot of material.
balloony Calvin Kleins.
They're the color of
They're the
Michael Jordan's eyeballs.
You'd have your liver checked, MJ. Good Lord, I think your pancreas is failing.
All right, next
Yeah,
email.
I'm wearing big white yellow because I don't have time to have playful underwear. I'm a businessman.
Just get the
No, you wear this
MeUndies.
smiley. I'm not wearing anything that sounds like something a leprechaun would shout as he's jumping out of a well. MeUndies. I'm not doing any of that. I wear standard Hanes, Fruit of the Loom, American companies.
You know what stinks about you. You go, and I've done this before, where and I've made the transition a long time ago to nice quality boxer briefs.
Too slick, too tight.
But you buy a pack
He
of
wants
them.
loose.
He likes
it. He likes it a little bit.
Look, to me, it's useful. To me, it's like a flak jacket.
So
It might as well be a canteen to me. It's a tool.
They're more expensive, but just like this guy said, you buy the expensive ones that
You
have
were
a-
telling me
a
to bear
pouch.
He told me to wear Nike Breathe. What was the one?
They're
you
Air.
that?
They're called
Nike
Hanes.
Air.
I thought they were Hanes
Hanes
Air.
Air. Hanes Air.
Yeah. It's the material. Anyway, but you buy the nice ones, and then you put it in the rotation of your regular underwear, and then you're mad when you get your stinky old.
Hanes Air's long.
Well, you get the
That'd be
Hanes.
longer than his chubbies.
I'm
Look
not
at the
wearing
Hanes
long
Air
underwear. I don't like
the
underwear on
shorties.
my thighs. I can't believe you have underwear on your thighs. My thighs have to be cool. I gotta have my thighs to the sky.
Well, the material makes it. It's like the beach shirt material. You can put it on, and you're actually cooler
those
than
things
no
don't
shirt.
work. I gotta be nude. I gotta be naked, man.
Next email.
Okay. Turn down for what? Regarding the new sound violation for cars, if Florida was targeting vehicles with systems, they wouldn't have dropped how far the sound can be heard to 25 feet. That is not far. A stock car stereo could easily surpass that with the windows down and not even turned up all the way. I have a hefty list of noise violation tickets when I was younger, even getting one during spring break on A1A.
I've never gotten one of those. You ever gotten one of those?
No.
That's surprising because you were a system man, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, dude, let's get a mini truck just for you and I to drive
Yeah,
around
the
town.
Tom and Dan mini
and we'll
truck?
share it, and we'll put a system in it.
Yeah,
we'll have
yeah,
a
yeah.
hot a bikini girl pose with it for Mini Truck Magazine. We'll do a fold out.
Oh, get airbags.
Yeah,
I've always wanted
Set it on
airbags.
airbags, and then we need some girl to like pose with it, and then we'll do that trick where she's in there and it like is vibrating her hair up in the air and her bikini straps. Have you seen that where they make her bikini straps and her hair like vibrate?
No.
Because there's so much bass,
Yeah.
it just makes her hair float in the air.
Then we'll put the license plate on the tailgate side.
Sideways.
Little sideways.
yeah.
It says, Dan, you haven't announced the car that you're getting yet, but be careful because your sub is placed on the rear side of your car. And as of last year, they blocked off a vent from the trunk to the cabin, making you have to turn up the sub to really hear it now. Even with the volume at 25%, my girlfriend says it sounds like the bass is turned way up when I pull into the garage due to the placement of the sub.
Oh man, I like a car with a good subwoofer.
Also, I will never get a noise violation ticket in my truck because of the way I look, because I know what America is. I'm sorry.
Donald Glover.
I'm just saying. I know why this rule was written. I know what
Yeah.
police target.
Who are we kidding?
Who are you
How-
kidding?
hey, the question
I
you
can
gotta
play
ask yourself
music
is,
as loud as I want
No,
in my
you
truck,
don't play
driving
music.
a white guy.
How
Hey,
loud can
thumbs
you
up,
get?
cops.
How loud can you get?
I know why.
So then are they also going to have it for when people's exhausts are super loud? You know,
They already do.
Yeah, I think that's a separate.
that's already a thing?
Nah.
Yeah, no,
They may not be able to enforce that because if you had a loud car for any other
They've had
reason,
tickets for motorcycles, I know, for being,
For being
super
too
duper
loud.
loud. Yeah.
yeah,
Or at least that was a thing. I remember people
revving your engine. I don't know.
Well,
you
I'm
know.
talking out of my butt. Volusia County, I know. because that's when we had loud motorcycles.
Dude,
How loud can you turn up fantasy footballers? You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be. It's not like music.
And I feel like even if I was playing music in my stock Silverado, right, and was
It's got
loud,
a decent system. It sounds good.
if I put my
No.
windows down here and I turn my music up the max volume, would you be able to hear it inside the studio?
Probably not.
It would be a little bit, right?
Maybe a little bit.
But it's the bass that carries, right?
Yeah.
And that's why this thing was written is like
For bass.
they want to
Wait till we
give
get our mini truck.
people with bass tickets or whatever loud systems.
And that's coming back. I'm glad to see that come back. There's a couple kids in my neighborhood that you see them out wrenching in their garage and they'll be testing out their bass, and I'm kind of into it. I find myself dumb old manning a lot where I want to I've got the bug to want to go chirp them. I don't. You guys would be proud of me. I don't walk over there, but I want to so bad. I want to walk over, hey, what are you doing?
I wonder if the technology has changed all that much. Because I
Let's
think
talk to somebody who's into it now, not somebody who used to be into it. Somebody is there a young man or woman that's into
car audio,
and does it now that would maybe we could weird job that?
because how sound works, you have
We
to
did
have.
do a weird job with a guy that installed stereos.
Oh yeah.
That place went out of business, though.
Oh,
See, because
must not have been that great.
how audio works is you have to have the surface area and to play bass because it's that low sound needs to push a certain amount of air.
It's using air.
You couldn't have a smaller bass speakers that do the same thing as the big speakers from back. They have to be a certain size, right? It's
Well,
you couldn't do miniature bass speakers.
I think you can. You would just address the math. You would adjust the math to reflect it, and then the amount of bass you get would maybe sound similar, but it's not going to cover as much area because then at that point it just becomes a math equation. You see what I'm saying? You can make a miniature version of
just
the
to
bass
play
box you
right
have.
in your face or something.
And I think that's what they do in the fancier Bluetooth speakers. If you ever listen to a really nice Bluetooth speaker,
or a Bose.
It'll sound like it has bass, and you're I think that's because they're just making a miniature version of that what do you call it? The subwoofer that they have within a smaller bass configuration, like a box,
and targeting it
to
in a small
you.
area.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's what they're doing.
Anyway, next
That's a good
email.
one. Next email.
Okay. Ahoy T&D crew. I was wondering if those that commit grave robbing today find anything lucrative. Are people today buried with the good stuff? Should I be considerate and be buried with something special for the archaeologists, the legitimate grave robbers to find?
When I was a kid, I remember falling asleep multiple times thinking that if I could just find a cemetery where people were buried that no one cared about, that I could steal all their stuff. Seriously.
Yeah, weird. I mean,
I think I got it from Disney. I think I got it from Disney, the old, in Haunted Mansion, that guy with the hound dog and he's out there digging the graves, I would see stuff like that and I'd be like, wow, why? I remember actively thinking as a kid, they bury old men and women with all their jewelry on. That's stupid. I remember thinking that.
Well, recently, I have a little bit of knowledge about this. From what I know and heard, you have to now be in or have a concrete topper on top of your casket for extreme floods and things, the casket doesn't come out of the ground or something like that, or environmental. I was told there has to be a concrete topper that they lower in there. So seemingly it's not like you're just digging earth up and opening a casket and stealing jewels. You'd have to need machinery to get the concrete topper, Right.
Well, a lot of the grave robbing, quote unquote, are the people that actually work at the cemeteries. So it's it's before they actually.
Yeah, they just steal your Meemaw's jewels before.
Which is unfortunate.
They even, they're not digging up.
Okay.
They would notice, right?
Right. Question.
Some cameras on.
When you're cremating a body, do you put in the whole body?
I think so.
Do you put it in as a body, or do you put it in a box first and then put the box in the furnace?
Yeah.
I think it's like a morgue thing where you just slide it in, right?
Yeah, but it's in a wooden
you do put it in a coffin?
So you're not looking in there to see the person or anything.
No, they put. To my knowledge,
Is the person naked?
Yes, because there's something where they don't want any contaminants. I think they may actually.
Can't they put him in a paper suit or something?
Because if you have any metal in your body and stuff, I think it just gets burned up and then, or do they take it out before? I
don't know. These are questions I know.
According to the
super morbid
Cremation Society of America, in most cases, people are cremated either in a sheet or with the clothing that they were wearing upon arrival to the crematory.
Oh, really?
So it looks like you can be.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just stay in my sweats. You don't need to take me nude. I don't need that. You don't need that.
I thought they maybe because like if you have buttons and zippers, like that could screw up because those things I imagine are super expensive.
You just run a metal detector over it and pull them.
I don't even know how. We should talk to someone who runs a crematorium for a Weird Job Wednesday because that's really weird.
That would be crazy.
Because
we've
you have to be really cognizant about like
who's who.
Yeah, because that's a whole thing too.
Yeah, that happened here in town. Remember, you had the guy that was just giving people. He was just giving ashes back that was like no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
Didn't matter who it was.
Yeah.
He wasn't burning all the bodies. He's burying some of them, burning some of them, throwing some of them away. It was a mess. That was like years ago. Look that up, Sam. And you want to be terrified.
That could ruin your business if somehow they proved that all of your loved ones' ashes weren't, there was contamination between other people.
Do they scan you to make sure that I didn't put something in the body?
Oh, like a sabotage?
Like could I put a bomb up the...
You put a mortar kit?
Yeah.
That's actually a good question.
If I put
it could be dangerous, blow the doors off the...
Yeah.
Probably not.
Nobody's ever thought to do that, right? Like the old mortar up there.
Why you'd do it.
You got another email?
Yeah, I was reading the steps into the cremation process.
Yeah, I told you. Morbid.
Could you tell the difference between a firework and an air flare? Howdy, Tom, Dan, Sam, and crew. I've only seen a road flare used in real life, and I don't know if I could tell the difference with an air flare and a firework. Pretty sure I'd be oblivious if someone shot flares or fireworks as a distress signal. Just wondering if you would be able to pick up on a distress signal. The Titanic sinks either way.
The flare is more of a burning...
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have a explosion at the end, or does it?
I don't think it does.
Not that I know of, but the flares that I've seen, like the stereotypical, you're on a boat and you have a flare gun and you shoot it up.
They're hot as hell, by the way.
It doesn't look like any firework I've ever seen, right? It's not like a Roman candle.
No.
It's like it shoots out and then hangs for a little bit and then burns out. There's no explosion at the end, or
it doesn't make a noise. I don't believe.
But I've seen military flares that float down. Are they floating down on some sort of parachute? Have you
I couldn't tell you.
Or as they come down, are they so bright? Because in movies,
I always thought it went so high and it was so light that it just kind of floated down
until it burned out, and so you'll see it as it comes down.
I've never fired one. I've never seen somebody in my presence fire one. That's not something you normally do.
Remember when we found out that people buy flare guns for protection if they can't buy a firearm or whatever?
I bought a couple. I'm carrying mine right now. It's strapped to my thigh.
You gotta do.
And
I got mine in my old dad underwear right now.
If you think about it, if you couldn't afford a gun or anything to protect yourself, if you bought a flare gun or somehow acquired one, I feel like if you shot a flare gun at an intruder,
it scared the hell out of me.
They would leave.
You'd also set your whole entire house on fire, but
but that would be a good deterrent for from an intruder, right? Almost as scary as a real gun, right?
Could be scarier
because you're shooting.
You'd probably be confused. You don't know what's happening.
It would be so light. It would be disoriented. It would disorientate.
I mean, I would think you shot me with some sort of bomb. Like if it came at me, hit my chest, fell on the ground,
fireball coming at you,
was burning, and then I'm on fire. I'd be like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Or if they shot it at you, you'd be like, oh, even more scary than a gun bullet because a bullet, first you can't see it and you just hear the loud ass gunshot, but that's it. The flare, you have a fire element, a super bright
and aren't they mega hot? I always thought flares were mega hot.
I would assume so.
Yeah, it's burning. That's what just a giant fireball, right?
Yeah, phosphorus.
Although, how bad would it hurt you? It would just bounce off it. Like it's being shot at a tremendous velocity, right? Like it goes.
I feel like we're
100,
I feel like
200 feet
we
there.
know nothing about flare guns,
Right.
but we're just way. We're
So
going.
I think our answer to this guy is no. We could not tell the difference.
We're going way into flare. I think
Would
I
it
could
hit
tell
you like as hard as a beanbag gun? Like
we could go buy one at Bass Pro Shops, and we could set up some targets and start doing
flare gun challenge.
we could do the flare gun challenge.
Like, we should buy a flare gun and
Put it
do
on TikTok.
and do
Where
an
are we
episode.
gonna
where-
shoot it?
We can go to the woods. You want to
What
go to the
woods?
woods?
You wanna burn the woods down.
We'll go
Oh
to,
We'll
my
just blame it
God.
on a gender reveal. One nuts. It was
No.
some lady and a baby.
Nah, it's raining so much in Florida. You could shoot fire.
Yeah,
in
it's raining fire.
You could shoot fire anywhere. It's fine.
We'll just shoot it into the water. Shoot it into our fish tank.
We can go to my backyard.
Okay.
It's fine.
Shoot into your neighbor's pool.
Like
Your pool enclosure, old man, will burn a hole big as the sun in that thing.
we'll set up a target and then
Couple of cans, couple of LaCroix cans.
We'll shoot one in there. Can you shoot a flare gun anywhere at any time?
I don't know. What? Maybe that's a question for Mo.
Are you American, sir?
Like, is it illegal to shoot a flare gun off?
If there's no emergency?
Yeah, is that some sort
Well,
of...
emergency subjective, right? Like, I mean, I'm out of mustard. It's an emergency. Shoot a flare gun, you know?
Like, if I walked outside and shot a flare gun, like someone would call the cops, right?
I don't think anybody noticed it, to tell you the truth. Maybe that's just
Well,
me being very jaded.
No,
I think if you walked out here to the street and shot a flare gun, no one would notice.
Well,
It'd need to be at night.
it'd be loud as hell because it's like...
Are they loud?
Yeah, because it's using gun and explosion to shoot the flare, right? It's like a mortar.
Again, I don't know anything about
Yeah.
flare guns. I didn't even know if they make noise.
It's
or
not a
silent.
It's not a spring. It's being the
Propelled.
back of the flare is like a shotgun shell, right? It's like a shotgun shell, and that the gunpowder shoots the flare from the shell.
Yeah. My wife says it would only make next door, but the cops would not be called. Where somebody would just be like, "Did somebody shoot a flare gun?"
I think they would just think it was a firework, right? Or a real gun, because if it's a shotgun,
bright orange.
but the shotgun shell sound is gonna sound like a shotgun going off.
Again, I don't know what a flare gun sounds like. I'd have to.
I've
hear
never heard
one.
it. It's weird that over all these years of like my family being around boats and like me owning these boats and doing dumbass,
I feel like you should know more.
like I feel like I would shoot off a flare. You know what? They don't, unless you go out like offshore fishing in the ocean. They don't require you to have a flare. Or a flare gun on your vessel, because I only go on lakes and the intercoastal or whatever. I only need a whistle.
Do you have a whistle?
No.
Okay.
You know how to whistle, don't you? You just put your lips together and blow. Sorry.
Why'd you say that?
Here is I'm finding flare gun. I mean, these are. I got the top 10 best-selling flare guns.
How much do they cost? We got flare gun for sale, Sam.
Let's all get them,
let's just-
and then let's all get our concealed carry.
just for the flare
For
gun?
the flare guns.
So we're always
We're always packing
strapped
flares.
with,
Yeah.
with flare guns. Can I get the one? I want the armpit holster.
Oh yeah,
That's
the
I've always wanted
detective.
to hold the
detective.
alcoholic detective.
Yeah, where you roll your sleeves up.
Yeah. For sure, you're gonna get shot by a cop, right? Like
Yeah.
by
Welcome back, Top Later, folks. Jeff and Officer Greg back out here with you on a ridiculously windy day. I'm covered in flour from an earlier shoot. This is not cocaine, I promise you.
Oh my God, wrong video. I guess this guy's talking. No, this guy.
What?
This guy's been putting regular shotgun shells in his flare gun and blasting everything. Officer Greg here.
What?
Are you put like a regular shotgun shell
In his flare gun, he's just shooting everything.
Will it shoot out?
Yeah, apparently it works.
You would think, because is a flare gun metal? I always thought it was plastic.
No, I think they're metal. I can't find any good videos of flare guns going on.
You would think that they wouldn't fit, like a standard shotgun shell
Okay,
wouldn't fit into.
yeah, here's one.
They would make the barrel size.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today we have some major redneck science for you guys. So,
Okay, so apparently the thing that
Rednecks.
people are doing is they're buying regular shotgun shells and then discharging them in flare guns, and it's like a thing. It's like a real thing. So here he is.
Hold on. Yeah.
He's
watermelon.
He has a watermelon, and he
the hammer,
cocks his
and
flare
it's go
gun,
time.
and he's got a shotgun shell in it. This is why we should all buy
So I
our
gotta
flare
Why
try
does
to
he
pull
just
the string
shoot it?
without rotating our piece of wood?
Is it because he's afraid it could blow up?
blow up the
like-
flare gun.
So I
It
I
works.
shot it.
saw the shell eject, and now it's raining pieces of our flare gun. Well,
It looked less
Hey,
powerful.
we blew up our flare gun.
So it did blow
It does
the
say
bear off.
you can set an attacker on fire, but it also may just bounce off of them if you use an actual flare, not the shotgun shells, of course.
Yeah. Although it's scary though.
And you only get the one shot.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
just saying.
Eminem told me that.
If you were like trying to get into a house, yeah, it's not gonna kill someone, but I figured it'd scare them away.
It'd be a nice way to set a house on fire that you're trying to burn down.
I have always wanted to shoot a flare into like a gasoline. Exactly. That's been awesome.
I think everybody
We
dreams
should have
of
done
that.
that with the old Griff truck.
I know.
No,
Well, we thought about.
Falconer's now driving it a daily.
Favorite car. Yeah.
Someone offered to buy it from him for $3,500.
Turned him down.
Wow.
He turned him down.
$3,500.
Take it,
He
Falconer.
turned him down.
Yeah.
It's his favorite vehicle.
Well, he said he felt bad because he bought it for charity, and now someone's offering to. He's gonna make money off it. Like,
Right.
he didn't want
just
to.
give
it's
us
his
the
now.
distance.
And
Give
he-
us the difference.
And he loves it so much. He said he never sell.
Oh my God, I hated that thing.
I know it was a death trap.
Yeah.
But we are stupid because hard to find vehicles nowadays. So people will be willing to pay $3,500 for that
Indeed.
hunk of junk.
Absolutely. We got to take a break.
All right, we'll be right back.